go with Randy Harris and Knockout Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knockout Radio with Randy Harris is about to start. So get ready for the best MMA talk, games, interviews, prizes, and surprises anywhere. For Knockout Radio, I'm the voice, Ray Flores. And now, here's Knockout Radio.
Hey-o. Hey, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? Coming to you live from the TAN Talk Radio Network. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. First disclaimer, this is probably going to be a short version, little under the weather, wife in the hospital, no co-hosts here. So I'll get a few things off my chest. We'll talk about what happened over the weekend at UFC 317. We'll look ahead. We'll do a few things and then possibly call it a day. So first and foremost, what an outstanding event. What an outstanding week in Las Vegas, UFC International Fight Week from the Hall of Fame, my good buddy Robbie Lawler. I'm still going to go off on the tangent. I talked to a lot of media. Slowly, I'm turning them. I'm changing them a little bit, that just because your fight is in the fight wing of the UFC Hall of Fame, they're starting to come around that does not make you a UFC Hall of Famer. So we'll talk about that, hopefully a couple times before we call it a day. Then Slap on Friday. I kind of get it. I kind of dig it. I think it's fun. It's not me getting slapped. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. Title changes hands. Saturday, UFC 317. What an unbelievable, incredible night of fights. Arguably, well, not arguably, in my opinion, it is fight of the first 6 months. I find it highly unlikely that a fight can top that over the next 6 months. And of course, I'm talking about the Royval Van fight. Just unbelievable, even to the point where Royval got paid his show and win money, even though he didn't win, and the bonus for fight of the night. So if you haven't seen it, and I'm sure many of the audience has, if you haven't seen it, jump on YouTube, wherever you get it, the streams, et cetera, et cetera. Definitely worth the fight or the watch. So I'm starting to learn more about how to run the YouTube, how to put YouTube up, what to shoot. And I sat there on my thumbs on Sunday at Tough Enough as I was waiting out, we're going to talk about the show that I was scheduled to go to, and a question that I'm going to throw out to you, which we'll get to. But I'm sitting there, I'm watching, but I'm really not watching. I'm chilling with Chris Lytle. I'm getting ready to get out of Vegas and get on the red eye. And so I really wasn't paying much attention when a couple fighters stormed into the cage after the 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever fight it was. Didn't realize until later that one of those fighters was and is Sean Strickland. Fighter number 2 was and is Chris Curtis. So I happen to have some acquaintances that were in the building. Not going to name names just yet. And that's when I called Max Payne. And I said, Max, you may possibly be having a new opponent on 2 weeks in Nashville. And he had no clue about it. A lot of people don't think Chris Curtis, look at that, right on time, the professional. I think Chris Curtis gets suspended. I think Sean Strickland gets suspended. Now, Sean doesn't, to the best of my knowledge, have a fight upcoming. But Chris Curtis fights or is scheduled to fight Max Payne Griffin in 2 weeks, I think it's 2 weeks, in Nashville, and it's highly unlikely. Now, I don't think that the commission is going to meet before the fight, but I was told that they can order a suspension leading up to them getting together and talk. And I think he gets suspended. I think you have to suspend him. And I'm just going to pretend like you're not here. What?
As a commissioner. Shout out to the commissioner that actually stopped Sean Strickland from throwing fists. That's a scary job that we do. And Sean Strickland and Curtis are two monsters in real life, and unhinged, who came into a professional bout. They know the rules. They know the sport. And that's a scary place for a commissioner to be in. But kudos to them for having no hesitation and keeping the fighter safe.
Kudos if the commission suspends them.
Well, they have to take action.
If they don't,
you can't let that
it's
happen.
belittling, obviously, Jeff, who's the head commissioner there, everybody that's underneath them. It's putting the people that did try to stop it. Now, everybody was quick to say, well, Chris Curtis didn't throw any punches.
Yeah, but he still had
he
no
put his hands on him.
He can't even enter the ring.
But I'm saying, but they might have whatever because it was Strickland. But Chris Curtis put his hands
Absolutely
on him, put his hand behind his head, whether it was to block or not, because some people, he was blocking. No, he went in there with bad intentions.
Absolutely did.
And it just so happens that Jeff Mullins came from Tennessee, so has connections. So, because every state doesn't have to abide.
Sure.
But, and Nevada's the king of the kings. So if you go up against Nevada, you're going to have problems down the road. So I anticipate financially, and I can't see Chris Curtis fighting in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that saves him and gives him a chance is that he did not throw any strikes, right? So, but he did touch. So, a touch is an assault. I mean, in the court of law,
it is assault.
If you touch somebody just physically in any capacity, it is an assault. So if he pushes the limit, if the fighter wants to push the charges and allegations, it's criminal at that point. The bout was over.
I don't think that he will, but I know that they're looking into the actions that the fighter did as well, which is immaterial.
It's immaterial.
It doesn't matter.
Over. It's a sanctioned bout. Like so once the fight's over, that's a civil criminal act and an offense.
Yeah, I don't see it going to that because it's happened numerous times and it never does go to the courts and to the police. And even though from what I was told, I didn't see it. I don't know. This is alleged. What else do I need to say to cover me? Did I say enough?
Hypothetical?
Well, it wasn't
Potential?
hypothetical because, no. Allegedly, both of them ran out of the casino.
Oh, so they knew.
Well, they definitely knew. I mean,
but didn't we see it in hockey? I mean, there's been instances where fights have turned criminal, right? Ron Artest and those guys fighting.
That's not hockey. Ron Artest.
Well, but I mean, they're more fight than basketball.
Well, but the Ron Artest wasn't in the sport. He went into the crowd.
That's true.
So that is totally different. There's been some things that's happened on the ice when the guy cut him more and the skate, and so a lot of that. But I've always said that what happens inside stays inside. So I don't see criminal things, but I think if the state of Nevada steps up and does something, then the legal whatever, I don't think they get involved. And what's the word? So Strickland gets suspended. Is he scheduled to fight anytime soon? Who cares?
I don't think so. Does he even care?
Probably not. Chris Curtis cares probably that he needs to fight. I don't know if he needs the money, but so when I called Max and I told him, because I don't care who I beat up. Which is the right answer.
Right? That's the correct answer.
It's definitely the right response.
For sure.
But it was crazy. And what did I do? I don't know if you at least listened driving in late. I sat on my hands. I didn't film it.
Really?
And then not only did I not film it live, when they played the replay on the big screen, guess what? I didn't film it.
If you would have taken DJ Tony with you, could have had a video, or you took your other cameraman. Where's your other camera guy at? Austin.
Well, he was already on his way back.
The guy with 3 names.
He was on his way back. That was Sunday morning.
John Austin.
Crazy.
Can you trust the guy with 3 first names?
It was definitely crazy. The fight was, and it's Strickland, so you never know what's going to happen when it's Sean Strickland.
Yeah, I mean I don't think it's an act with him. I think Strickland is.
Well, should we talk about what the other fighter did, or is that immaterial?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It is immaterial.
Because it has nothing to do with what happened afterwards. Your corner can't come in and attack the opponent.
No, I agree.
Opponent fighting a fight.
I agree. But here's what I found. Here's what I found. First of all, not that I care if you'd be proud of me, but you would be proud of me.
Okay.
Because I didn't say anything, and I wanted to.
To who?
So the people sitting behind me, and the people sitting behind the person sitting behind me, was all in the camp involved with the other fighter.
The one that lost, or the one that
lost,
or the one that won that got attacked?
Yeah, the one that won. Okay. The one that got attacked that said he's a Miami police officer.
Okay.
So his dad yelled out to Sean Strickland and to Chris Curtis about, well, you can relate to this. He was yelling how unprofessional you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yet, dude, alleged a cop, or he said he was, doing the suck it, to Chris Curtis and to Sean Strickland.
Yeah, but see, that's where police officers get a bad rap, because when they're not on duty,
I understand.
They're humans.
No, I understand.
They're people. They're civilians.
Hold on a second. I'm not saying that because he was a cop, he shouldn't have done it. I'm saying that the father who's yelling to the two other fighters, it doesn't matter who they are, that stormed in for being unprofessional, as his son is doing the suck it and flipping them off. And that's a little unprofessional too.
Professionalism is my middle name. And
Not only, I don't think you could spell it. And two, I don't think you could go, I was going to say 24 hours. I'll say 30 minutes.
Dude, professional. P-R-O.
The rest of the letters.
Professional.
Yeah, professional. My buddy Professional.
Ed, can we get a spell check on that?
No.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Matt McClellan is very unprofessional.
Can I get it in the Latin translation, please?
It is.
Now you offended 6 different nationalities.
Well, no, just 2. The Latins that I didn't use Latin, and whatever language that is, that I didn't do that properly. But that's the risk that we take in combat sports. That's the uncertainty. That's why we have a commission. That's why we have rules and regulations. And I hope that they take the appropriate action, because it's not safe for the ring announcers, the ring girls, the fighters, for the commissioners. I mean, all around, that could have turned really ugly really fast for a lot of people. Oh, definitely. Strickland threw some punches, but they weren't.
He wasn't coming in to kill. I mean,
and if Curtis threw punches, now you got 2 fighters.
The most elite athletes on the planet.
Might be pushing it.
I mean, come on, if you're a UFC fighter at the highest level, you're amongst the average society. That's elite. You want to see the difference? Go to a fight like Saturday night, and then go the next day to Disney to a water park and see the difference in the human species. Yeah,
the fights are worse at Disney.
Well, it's over tater tots. Yeah, it's over tater tots usually.
All right, let's 15 minutes after, let's go hit a quick break. I'm going to take care of this 1 or 2 of these medical issues, and we'll talk more to Mr. Unprofessional. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Reggie Bush, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
What's up, guys? You're listening to Knockout Radio. This is the Russian Hammer. Choo choo, motherfuckers.
One of my favorite liners. That's got to be top 10.
Is this the top of the hour? Like we're starting off the show with the liner?
Not with the liner, with the music. That's our intro music.
You start the show when I arrive? That's how it is?
No.
Moving up.
Hold on, Ed. Can I say another word for donkey? Is that legal with FCC?
Just tell them to shut up and listen.
Okay, just shut up and listen.
All right.
We keep getting dings on YouTube for copywritten music as well as uncopywritten music. So I'm going to see what happens with music that I own.
Okay.
So we're going to use that bumper music. I'm having a band writing some stuff and cutting some stuff here in the next week or two.
Okay.
So we're going to see what happens with that. All right. We're going to bounce all over the place. We are live on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
We are live right now on the Facebook. And I'm going to bounce around. We're going to bounce around. So if somebody comes on the chat room, I can't really see the Facebook. So if you post it over there, you might want to jump on the YouTube. And if you have a subject that you want me and the Knucklehead to talk about, feel free to do it.
Chime in.
So the first person already has on the YouTube channel, and it says thoughts on Ben Askren.
Yeah. So Jake Paul came out at his press conference about the insurance, about how his claim was denied. Ben Askren up for a double lung transplant for his pneumonia. Apparently.
And I believe it's been made. But in the words of Ed behind the board, would he just finally shut up and listen?
Who?
And I'm a Jake Paul guy. I like Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I like what he's doing. I don't care who he's fighting. You know, the silly fans are paying good money to watch him beat up on people that have no right to even be in a ring.
Chavez Jr. didn't deserve to be in a ring. Chavez Jr. is a boxing legacy.
How many punches did he throw?
Lineage.
How many punches did he throw?
One.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Then no.
But it still comes from a boxing family. It's a boxing lineage. It's like
it is.
It's like Kenzie Morrison, who actually, stepped in and did what a pro boxer does.
At BKFC a couple weeks.
And of course, his dad created an opportunity and paved a way for him ahead of time, but so did Chavez Sr.
No, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Come on, man.
No, we'll get to it. We've talked about it. I've talked about, when Kyle Petty told me, the name helped me get a ride, blah, 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 blah. Kenzie Morrison is 19-1, 20-1. So I don't know how much his name has really helped. He was going to be a boxer no matter what. He was going to be a boxer because that's what his dad did.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean, I'm hoping that your children don't follow in your footsteps.
That's why I closed the restaurant. I don't want them to follow
that.
That
at least they're semi-normal.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I like Jake Paul. I don't care who he fights. I like that people hate him so much that they spend money. I call it the Ric Flair. But when it comes to Ben Askren.
Ric Flair's in grave shape just like Ben Askren, apparently. And Hogan.
And allegedly.
And Ronnie Coleman.
Allegedly. So
they say it goes in threes.
Here's my issue.
Yeah.
First of all, and I'm going to get probably ripped, and I normally do.
Yeah, go for it.
And not that this even matters, but it does. Ben Askren really isn't a UFC fighter.
Whoa, stop it.
Look at his career.
Stop it.
Shut up and listen.
Okay.
He had 3 fights in the UFC.
Doesn't matter.
What I'm saying is the owner, a general manager or whatever, they're not obligated, and people don't know.
It was the first trade in
Can I finish?
UFC history.
It was a ridiculous trade.
It was a trade. It was the first time they brought trade into like the fighting scene, like other professional organizations.
It didn't have to be
they
a trade.
brought him over from one.
Right.
Like that
to get rid of.
That's iconic. That's legendary status.
To trade Mount Rushmore.
Listen, I'm just saying, at the time, for what it was historic. It's legendary.
Ben Askren.
He's absolutely a UFC legend.
What?
Legend. You heard it here first.
Wow. I was thinking before this is your last day. I'm thinking more now. Do you really believe that?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a UFC legend.
Because of what it did for the sport.
What did it do for the sport?
It made it it made it legitimate. It made it like football, basketball. It's like Darren Waller getting traded to the Dolphins. Right,
except for he went to New York.
Whatever.
But, yeah.
I thought it was the Dolphins.
No, don't let facts get in the way. of a good
I'll
story.
never do that. But what I'm saying is,
let me finish, and then you can ramble, and I can leave the room when you're going to spew more stupidity.
Well, what does the fans say? What is your online?
I'll get over there. I'm giving my
insider.
view. I'm giving my view.
Okay.
First, Dana has helped former fighters. Dana has helped former family members of fighters or staff.
I've heard this.
Okay. It's pick and choose. And from what I understand, Jake Paul stepped up and did some. I don't know how much he did. And that was my comment. Why don't you shut up and you pay for it? You just spent $30 million on a piece of property. $500,000's nothing to you.
Yeah, and a plane.
So, I knew everybody was going to go off, and I knew you were going to go off about it. But what I'm saying is, and not that one would be, and I don't even want to say names because then God forbid something were to happen, but, to somebody that had 25 fights for the organization. Okay. Again, he's still not obligated to do it.
Right. He's a boss.
Jake Paul, if you're going to yell out people, if you're going to call people out, how about call out one? How about call out the former Bellator, whoever you want to call out at Bellator that's no longer involved?
Sure.
They still have the money, right?
Yeah.
Not some guy that you fought for 3 times.
I agree. I mean, it's not Dana's obligation. It's not the UFC's obligation. Everyone's a contract labor. They're all 1099 employees. They're independent contractors. They fight for themselves. They work for themselves. They handle their taxes independently. So there's no obligation. I think where Jake got involved, it's just that the money that the UFC makes with Endeavor and the billions and billions of dollars of revenue, in the scheme of things, it's a drop in the bucket for the UFC to step up, make this charitable donation to show that they take care of their own.
He's not their own.
But you didn't hear what I said because you're
did.
Out with a medical issue.
No, I heard. I heard.
But listen, when you go to the hospital, I'm going to call Dana. I'm like, yo, Randy's hard up. He's in the hospital. He needs a new personality. This one's run its course.
I know this is stupid, but that would be more deserving.
Yeah, because you've been with it for 35 years.
Since then, I've covered, I've been involved, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not taking anything away from Ben Askren. Even more so with Jake Paul. How much money did you make, Jake Paul, when you fought Ben Askren, if you want to call it a fight, in Atlanta? When we both were there.
Do you think Jake takes some blame? Do you think he feels like his knockout of Ben Askren led to this?
No.
Okay. Just asking.
No.
I mean, I didn't. I was my informants. Let me see what they say.
Yeah. Your informant said, shut up. More ridiculousness coming from you. What are you doing?
I'm typing on my computer.
All all the intelligent people can't invent. And I always yell at my sister when we talk because as we're talking, I'm like, really? Can you at least stop?
Yeah.
Can somebody invent
It's called Chat GPT, and you don't need to use your fingers anymore. You just talk. You just tell it what you wanted to do, and it prints out whatever you wanted to say.
Well, no, if you're doing work, if you're typing, I'm just saying.
If you're not using AI correctly, you're going to lose your job.
I feel, there's an AI, whatever that I tried to purchase, and I either didn't purchase it or I purchased it 112 times.
Or it's so smart that it canceled the subscription when it had to work for you.
Or it charged me 112 times.
Okay.
That would be smarter.
Yeah.
See, we're taking it to the whole new level, but it's basically, it'll tell us when we have these videos ready. And again, thank you, James Lynch. Great guy, sat next to Austin. He really helped us out a great deal. You get this and it'll give you the key words to put on your video.
Okay.
Which will help.
But don't you think it's crazy that a computer is making you verify that you're not a robot?
Right.
Pass security questions, prove that you're not a robot from the robot.
Back to the question, when they asked me the situation, obviously awful, what Ben Askren is going through.
Well, what's the latest update? Did he get approval? Is he going to get a lung transplant? Isn't there a waiting list? It's like a kidney or.
Yeah.
I know recently Joe Rogan talked about a girl who went over to Turkey for a procedure, some sort of cosmetic surgery or what have you. And when she went back to the doctor in the US to do a checkup, he goes, when did you remove your kidney? And she goes, I have 2 kidneys. He goes, no, you have 1 kidney. And then she was like, no, I have 2 kidneys. And then the 2 people that went with her and did the same procedure, they came in to get an evaluation. And it turns out they're missing a kidney each as well. So in Turkey, they're stealing kidneys doing, surgeries, elective surgeries overseas.
What?
That was Joe Rogan. He posted it on his the JRE experience. So that's wild.
You know what I found out about Joe Rogan?
That
his rookie cards are crazy expensive.
Oh, really?
So out in Vegas over the weekend, hung out with Greg Hendrick. used to work at the UFC, and he's cleaning his house out and whatever. So he gave me a bunch of stuff to bring to Ryan Wessner over at Rhino Cards. And he had a gold Joe Rogan card.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
No.
Come on.
No.
Just buy it.
Why?
Well, because that way when the Liver King and Joe Rogan fight, it'd be the biggest fight of all time.
No, it won't.
Of course. The Liver King.
That's where all the livers went.
Right. Yeah.
Or kidneys or whatever.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Kidney beans, liver.
Yeah. They're both awful.
Maybe the Liver King was like harvesting organs. That happens. You go to Brazil, they made movies about like Turista where they like harvest organs of tourists.
I don't know if I want to do this, but we're going to hit a break anyway. So 866-826-1340. If you smoke under 62 packs of cigarettes, give us a call. This is Knockout Radio.
Hi, this is Wes Welker, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
I'm very excited to announce that Knockout Radio finally has our very own Challenge Coin, thanks to Challenge Coin Country. Challenge Coin Country is a family-run business with over 17 years' experience making custom challenge coins, lapel pins, bottle openers, keychains, and many other custom products. They even produced 2 different variations for us, one for military recipients and a slightly different coin for civilians. I strongly suggest you check them out at challengecoincountry.com with free express shipping, and they proudly offer discounts for first responders and military as well. That's Challenge Coin Country at challengecoincountry.com.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hey, this is the A-Hole Show. Wes Sims here, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris, my main man.
All right, we are back hanging out here in studio. Going to go to the phone lines in a couple minutes, but
before you do that,
let me ask you a question.
Oh, I want to say something.
Let me ask you this first. Give me your Mount Rushmore of UFC fighters.
John Jones, Amanda Nunes, Demetrius Johnson, and Anderson Silva.
Okay. Let's go to the phone lines. Joe Marquardt.
Hello, am I on?
Unfortunately, you are.
What's up, Joey?
Dude, I've got a bad echo. What's up, bro? Listen, for one, that isn't a Mount Rushmore. That's the pound for pound best of all time that Matt just said. First, you got to get that right. Nobody has a Mount Rushmore as the pound for pound best fighters of all time.
We didn't
talk what the Mount Rushmore is.
We didn't talk about pound for pound yet. We just talked.
No, I know, but you said Mount Rushmore.
I asked my co-host to name his Mount Rushmore of UFC fighters.
Well, Matt, all due respect, that's a stupid Mount Rushmore.
Well,
Mount Rushmore is the founding fathers of something, not the best of all time. First.
He's given
and second, I can't believe since you put your Mount Rushmore as the pound for pound best of all time, you did not put George St. Pierre on there, which is ridiculously crazy.
It's Canadian. Can't be Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore's in America. You can't be Canadian and be on my Mount Rushmore.
You put Amanda Nunes.
Damn it. And Anderson Silva. Half of my Mount Rushmore are Brazilian.
Listen, this is all playing off the back of Randy last week saying that George St. Pierre isn't the best welterweight of all time, which is the craziest. I don't want to call it the stupidest thing because I don't want to be Randy and be disrespectful, but it's the craziest thing that I've ever heard somebody say.
Oh, try this one then. I want to put Ben Askren as my Mount Rushmore of UFC fighters.
Listen. If anybody's going to be on the Mount Rushmore now, it should be Jake Paul. Jake Paul is essentially saving that man's life, from what I hear and from what he says.
And he should.
But he's not a UFC fighter.
And he should save his life.
It don't matter. Well, we're talking about Rushmore. We could be picking. You could put Fedor on that, and it would still be considered legitimate.
No, he's not we said UFC fighter.
I don't know if Randy said that, and if he did, I do apologize. But I think he just said put your Mount Rushmore.
No,
I don't think it was UFC route.
I mean, I hate to defend Matt, but I said UFC fighter.
Okay, you might have. I didn't.
I know
I didn't pay that much attention.
You're so riled up. You're not paying attention. It's okay.
I'm not. I'm definitely not riled up. I've had a week to calm down.
That's good.
But believe me, if I could have got on last week and told you about how stupid I am going to say stupid, how stupid that comment was, I have to tell you. I mean, to not you don't have them on your Mount Rushmore, but I guarantee you got them on your top 5. Okay, and you do not have Tyron Woodley on your top 5. So saying Tyron Woodley was a better welterweight than George St. Pierre is absolutely asinine.
Okay.
If I can say that on Fan Talk.
Not only can you say the word asinine, but I can say a word. I've never said Tyron Woodley. Never.
I meant, you know what I meant.
No, I don't.
I forgot who you said.
I said Kamaru Usman.
Kamaru Usman.
Thank you. Kamaru Usman, who beat Tyron Woodley for the title, by the way. So so you know what I'm talking about.
No, believe me.
I need you.
Believe me, I know.
I need you to say live on the air.
Yeah, I'm not
wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I need you to say that.
First of all,
you are wrong.
Hold on a second. In the words of someone who used to hate my guts and now he's the #1 fan of Knockout Radio, you can't be wrong on an opinion. That's my opinion.
No, you can be.
No, I can't be.
It's a stupid opinion.
It's not.
If there's anything close to a fact that's an opinion, it's this. Okay? Nobody in their right mind would say, I want you to ask 100 people at UFC if they have George St. Pierre or Usman, the best welterweight champion of all time. And if one of them say yes, they should immediately be fired.
Hey, so Joe, you're not sitting on top of a roof right now, are you? Because
I'm sitting in the truck, though. I am picking to pull up the chicken salad chick and get you guys.
Okay, good. I don't want you to jump off of it, but I would say Matt Hughes is a better fighter than GSP. I think he was a better welterweight.
Okay, at least that is a better argument than freaking Usman. Even though that's
there goes your FCC record.
And you know, for me not to say Matt Hughes, that means something. But I believe
there goes your FCC record.
And you know, for me not to say Matt Hughes, that means something. But I believe Usman beat better fighters than Matt Hughes and obviously GSP.
He beat a different era of fighters.
Okay.
He didn't beat better fighters.
Sure, they were better.
That's the only one who can make that claim is I think John Jones, who beat his time, the greats, and the future.
So let's get back to the real question. Who is on your Mount Rushmore, Joe Marquis?
GSP, GSP, and
SPG, PGS.
GSP's not on my Mount Rushmore.
All right, who's on your
He's
Rushmore?
not even close to my Mount Rushmore. I got Boyce Gracie, I got Dana White, I got Forrest Griffin, and I got Stephen Bonner. That's my Mount Rushmore. That's the founding fathers of the UFC, in my opinion.
I mean, no Tank Abbott.
None of them are pound for pound fighters.
No Tank. How can you have one? He has half of his Mount Rushmore in one fight. It's Stephan Bonnar versus Forrest Griffin, right?
The UFC would be where it's at without Tank Abbott.
Yeah.
Essentially, the UFC is at because of those four people.
Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, didn't make your list. I mean, you're talking about pioneers like founding fathers.
The UFC would be where it's at without Ken Shamrock.
And you put Dana White on there. Dana White didn't come until years after the UFC was formed. He's not a founding father.
Yeah, but it was a garbage company. It was fixing to go bankrupt. They sold 3 letters in a wooden octagon for $2 million.
I'm not saying it's not important, but I mean, when you're talking about Mount Rushmore of fighters,
that's the most important. Mount Rushmore. That means the founding fathers. What made the UFC what it is?
No, Art Davie. Art Davie was the godfather. I mean, he's the one that invented it.
No, that's why Horace Gracie is there. Is he a pound for pound fighter? Not even close. But he is a godfather. Let me ask you this, Randy. I want an honest opinion from you. Was the UFC not going to go out of business before the Stephan Bonnar Forrest Griffin fight? Was that not something that was talked about?
It was getting ready to go out of business when the Fertittas and Dana bought it.
No, 100%. I'm talking at that point.
Yeah.
After the Ultimate Fighter, that fight happened. Were they not in talks on, man, if this doesn't work, we're probably going to have to fold it up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That makes that a very important, pivotal part in the UFC's life. So does Horace Gracie, and obviously so does Dana White, because he had the wherewithal to see something that nobody else saw. So that is my Mount Rushmore, which is completely different than my pound for pound list.
Absolutely. It's two entirely different things.
Give us your pound for pound list.
GSP's at the top.
Yep. GPS.
GSP is number 1. Okay. John Jones is number 2. And this is where it becomes hard because I've got a lot of people I want to put there. I'm going to have to put Anderson Silva and then Demetrius Johnson. That's 4.
Oh, we got a pretty similar list there. We're
in different orders.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you didn't put GSP in there.
Well, no, I put Amanda Nunes instead.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
What?
For his pound,
ridiculous.
For his pound for pound, or for his Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, well, both of them are ridiculous. But since I explained it, I hope you guys change your Mount Rushmore picks. Friggin' most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
That's what keeps you entertained.
And it's not just you guys who say it.
It's insane that you put
everybody.
It's insane that you put Stephan Bonnar on any top 4 list.
It's a Mount Rushmore. Listen, was he a pound for pound guy? No. Was George Washington the best freaking president of all time? Was he even in your top 5?
Well, it depends on who your other 4 are. Is Biden up there?
Well, there's one on there that is definitely in everybody's top 3 best presidents of all time, and that's Abraham Lincoln. But that's it. Can you guys even name who's on the Mount Rushmore?
Oh, I don't have any idea. Probably Washington, Adams,
Adams,
Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren. I don't know. I could name them all. I don't know which ones are up there.
You know what the advantage that Matt has, and for that matter, myself? We were born here. We don't need to learn that stuff.
That's an asinine thing to say, Randy. That's so stupid.
Well, here's my real question, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. How come all the monuments that we grew up with are still there, but we don't have any new ones? Like we haven't added a Clinton or a Obama or a Trump. Like how come everything's so old school?
At their presidential museums.
If you don't think there's going to be a Donald Trump statue that he buys and pays for and puts it,
he's going to put.
Apologize for.
He's going to put that at every property he owns. He's going to put.
Apologize for.
He's going to put that at every property he owns.
No, absolutely, it's going to be like the Rocky statue. They might take down the Rocky statue and put it instead.
I don't know about that. I don't see that happening in Philadelphia.
He's that arrogant. I'm just saying he's that arrogant.
He's that arrogant.
He's literally going to take down the Rocky statue? No.
But he doesn't own the property that the Rocky statue's on, so he can't have it removed.
He'll just buy it.
He'll buy it.
But what I'm saying is, like, all the stuff, like, growing up, all the history books that we had in school growing up, we had the Grand Canyon, the Arch in St. Louis, we had the Space Needle in Seattle, all the landmarks. Like, there's nothing really new. Like, how come we haven't evolved as a society? Like, how come all the great structures that we used to take kid trips and road trips to see, how come there's nothing new now with all this technology?
There's a George Floyd monument on the side of the wall.
Oh, sure. A mural? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, come on, man.
World renowned.
Bro, we got nothing. We don't even we have nothing. Like, we don't have pyramids.
Wait. Are you saying you're looking at wonders of the world? You put in wonders of the world and things man actually bought. Okay, you said the Grand Canyon and the arches.
The pyramids?
Those are two totally different things.
What about the pyramids?
That's a wonder of the world.
Just saying, Stonehenge. We've got nothing. We got nothing new. There's nothing new since
Let's get back to you thinking the George Floyd monument is not historic.
I mean, it should be on the Mount Rushmore. It was a technical rear naked choke, right? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, Neon Belly. I mean, there's a lot of jitsu. Like, George Floyd has an argument to be on the Mount Rushmore.
Send all emails to Matt McClellan at skippydoodle.com.
Thanks for calling in, Joe.
I gotta respectfully hang up because I'm at Chicken Salad Chicks. The best shameless plug ever, but it is the most amazing food ever.
I think Chick is.
We're going to end this conversation.
Hey, wait,
with
is the one in Clearwater open?
What?
There's a new one in Clearwater. Is it open?
Oh, I don't know. Probably. I'm doing the one in the Trinity right now.
I don't think you can call them Chicks anymore. I think Chick is.
We're going to end
incorrect.
this. We're going to end this conversation this way.
Can't call them Chicks.
I am not impressed with your phone call. See ya.
I bet you that I'll hang up first.
Yeah, it's because my hand isn't on the phone.
Oh, JoJo. I love that guy.
Knockout JoJo on Twitter.
I'm ready to I want to work for that guy. Sell some roofing. Like, hurricane season's here. It's time to, those guys make money.
I strongly recommend.
Crazy money.
I strongly recommend to any friend I have, or in this case, after that phone call, any ex-friends that I have. It's in your best, you don't have enough insurance to cover you on a roof.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not getting up on the roof. I'm just going to tell people, like, hey, you need a roof? I got a guy.
No.
And that guy goes over and does the roof.
No.
Then they give me a finder fee.
If you work for a roofing company, you got to get up there and hustle first.
Smart roofers use drones. They send the little drone.
No, to do the roof, not to inspect the roof.
I'm not getting up on a roof.
You got to do.
Are you crazy? That's way too hot. That's way too much work.
Just like the McMahons. If they're going to have one of their athletes do something, they do it first.
Hell no.
Get up there and do a roof
first. That's way too much.
This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Bill Romanowski, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast. Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Baseball Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. You're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back in studio again today at the Tan Talk Radio Networks, 1-866-826-1340. Haven't opened phone lines in, honestly, probably 20 years.
Yeah, when it was like a payphone, people had to go stand inside a booth on a corner.
Pretty much.
Watch people walk past them on the street and cars driving by.
Pretty much. And Joe was right on one or two things.
Okay.
One, Mount Rushmore isn't the 4 best. I get that. You get that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because people first think Mount Rushmore, all right, these are my 4 favorites. That's your Mount Rushmore.
Sure.
You know,
it's different.
Which typically it's your Mount Rushmore of your favorite fighters, of the best fighters. Mount Rushmore, because I've always said Dana White. Would the MMA, not UFC, would MMA be where it is without Dana White?
Probably not.
I agree.
Probably not.
Probably not. But that's the same way that I answer, where would the UFC be without Stephan Bonner and Forrest Griffin? Probably not. But the main event could have been what I just saw Saturday night. And I guarantee you, if that fight was the fight back instead of Stephan Bonner and Forrest Griffin, it'd be in the same place.
Yeah, Tapoya just what a crack.
Well, that wasn't the fight I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
I'm talking about the Roval fight. It was unbelievable. And Van, who's been on this program numerous times, who now will fight for the title.
Yeah.
2 fights in 3 weeks. Crazy.
You guys never answered what the question
on purpose.
What presidents are on Mount Rushmore?
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say Washington.
Randy, get your pencil out.
Lincoln.
Matt, get your crayons out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not making a resume.
George Washington,
Roosevelt.
I'm more like Kermit Washington, the
Roosevelt.
basketball player. Different Washington. Mine's Kermit, not George. But I go Lincoln, Roosevelt,
Washington.
One more.
And Jackson.
Andrew.
Michael Jackson.
Sure, Michael.
Tito.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Damn it.
You were so close.
TJ. How could I forget about TJ?
Yeah.
Well, how come there's no new Mount Rushmore? There's no more stones. They can't carve another face in a mountain somewhere in South Dakota.
You could do a mini more or a mini. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those were big at the time. They were the 4 founding fathers that you think of.
But we've evolved.
But there's been a few.
I mean, what else is in South Dakota or North Dakota? Like you can have all presidents there.
Yankton College that Lyle Alzado went to is in South Dakota. What are you looking at me like?
I don't even know what the hell you just said. Like,
there was a college in South Dakota called Yankton, which is where the great Lyle Alzado
Who's
went
that?
to college. What?
I'm not even playing games with you. I don't even know what you just said. Who is this? A wrestler?
Lyle Alzado played for the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And what did he do? What position?
He played football.
What position?
He was a lineman.
Okay. All right.
He probably liked Glenn Campbell.
I don't know what that
That's a song, that Wichita lineman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, life evolves, man. We got to keep up.
No, all right. So
who would you put on your recent Mount Rushmore of presidents? Like who would be your 4 presidents of like a modern era list?
Ronald Reagan.
Okay, that'll be a great choice.
Tear down this wall.
Would you put the Bobo? Would you put the monkey with him? Did he have a monkey sidekick, chimpanzee?
Not that I know of.
Yes, he did. Didn't Reagan have a?
That was Tarzan.
No, Reagan had a monkey. Did he have a movie with a Bobo or something?
I don't know.
Bongo?
I don't know.
Somebody call in.
I don't watch movies. So
Yeah, actually, he is right for once.
From a movie
that he did. That Bonzo Goes to Washington or something like that.
Yeah, Bonzo.
Right.
Yeah. So all right. So we got Reagan and his monkey.
I'll take crap from 48% of the country.
Or 47 of them. Right. Or 45.
I would put Trump.
Okay. you got to put Trump.
Yeah.
Have to. We went, back to like losing his title, go back and get it again. That's like Rose Yamanuda stuff.
So even though not my favorite, but probably Obama.
Okay. Yeah. He was so diplomatic. I mean, he made us look good on a world stage, articulate.
But do you care about that?
Yeah. It matters.
Hold on a second. For you to say yes, for the way you act and the things you do, you care what we look like?
This is my job. My job is to entertain the people.
I think Obama goes up merely well, not merely because.
Mainly.
But first black president.
Yeah.
I think he gets the nod.
So you wouldn't use limestone, you'd use like a different.
Would I vote
mineral.
for? Probably not, but there you go.
Here comes Dade.
Whatever it takes to get calls for the first time ever. This is Rob in Clearwater.
You wouldn't make the.
All right, so what's your third president?
I got to go Clinton.
Why?
Oh, Clinton was the best of all those guys.
Because he played the saxophone?
Well, he was talented. He's a musician.
He could do more than one thing.
But just his charisma.
Oh, what a ship show. And anybody, I said ship, S-H-I-P.
Anybody that knows Clinton, anybody's ever been around Clinton, they say that he was so, like his aura was so magnetic and is so captivating, just being in his presence. That's something you can't teach. That's something you just instinctively. It's a vibration. It's a frequency.
I was not in the Oval Office.
Are you wearing his political shirt? What is that? Is that the Puerto Rican? Is that Bonzo? Is that Reagan's?
What the hell are you talking about?
Your shirt has a monkey wearing, it's an Abraham Lincoln beard with a top hat that's a Puerto Rican star. It's the Puerto Rican flag.
It's the July 4th 8-man strong shirt from a couple of years ago.
I mean, it fits in with our Mount Rushmore conversation. I didn't even know it.
You are
look at it. Like a fan, turn around, let the fans see. Let them see. We're talking about Ronald Reagan and his monkey and presidents and Jake Paul living in Puerto Rico because of tax advantages. And that's
but
where
I thought he bought a $30 million ranch in States.
Georgia. Yeah, he did. But the tax advantages to live in Puerto Rico are off the chain. That's why a lot of celebrities move there. But
Ron DeSantis said last night on I think Hannity, is that his name? That he may start charging entrance fees to move to Florida. That's how many people are moving to Florida and getting the hell out of California.
Yeah.
And New York.
Well, they're moving to Texas. Like Austin's blowing up. I mean, who just moved? Brendan Schaub just moved to Austin.
Not to get closer to Joe.
Just to get closer to Joe, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're all coming there. Elon, like it's becoming the Mecca.
I don't know what that has to do with Knockout Radio, but
for fight fans, Joe Rogan is. I mean, you got to put Joe Rogan on the Mount Rushmore.
No, you don't.
Well, if Dana White is as important, Joe Rogan is just as important to the success and the influence of the UFC. Without his commentary, without his energy coming from Fear Factor and being that guy, I don't think the UFC is.
And
where
before
it is.
that, wasn't it like the Guy Show or something? Whatever that show was. But first of all, unless you're going to invent your own Mount Rushmore, there's only 4. Okay. And if you're going to go only 4,
our most important figures in the UFC to what it is today, the 4 most important from administrative to ownership to commentator. I mean, you would put Bruce Buffer, Joe Rogan, Dana White, and then you have room for one more.
Well, in your analogy,
Dr. Davidson.
It has to be. It has to be, and you could put them together. You could make
Stitch Duran. That would be my 4 most influential people in the UFC history that made the sport, the brand, what it is today. Stitch Duran, Joe Rogan, Bruce Buffer, and Dana White. How can you argue with that? I'm
going to argue because in your stupidity analogy, you have to have the Fertittas there. Because I
don't like breakfast food.
The most important thing that you need or needed to continue the UFC was the Fertittas money.
The Maloofs were a bigger influence because they had the Palms Hotel. They owned the Palms in Vegas. Like they had a bigger influence in the UFC success than the
Fertittas.
Yeah.
Than the guys paying the money.
Nobody talks about the Fertittas. It's all about the Maloofs. They were the ones that everybody knew.
Okay. First of all, I've never heard anybody bring up the Maloofs. They bring up Trump. Because Trump allowed him to use the casinos in Atlantic City. So that's the same. So if you're going to say the Maloofs, now you got, DT too.
Okay.
All right. So now your Mount Rushmore's to 7.
But my 4 is pretty solid. Just give me.
No.
And yes, it is. I'll get a smile. I nailed that one. Bruce Buffer, Joe Rogan. Come on, give me some credit with that one. What? I would put Wes Sims on there just because he
pre or post bite.
He agreed with me because he said, that he liked my comment about you're exploring the arenas and you're opening your eyes, you're trying new things, and you've traveled so much, and now you're finally taking my advice. And you put it publicly on Facebook, which I was shocked.
I didn't say I'm taking your advice.
You did, but
I did.
I always tell them that you don't have many sleeps left, and I better open my eyes and get out and explore and walk around.
We need to hit the top of the hour break when we come back. More boring conversation with Matt.
What are you talking about? Bongo.
Hi, this is Derek Moses with the Buffalo Bills. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. After a 7-week federal trial, Sean Diddy Combs was acquitted today of the most serious charges, racketeering and sex trafficking, convicted on 2 lesser counts. CBS's Jerika Duncan.
This is a victory for Sean Combs and his family. Sean Combs put his hands up to the sky. He had his hands sort of clasped as though he was praying, according to those who were inside the courtroom, and kneeled down. He was very emotional. There was cheering inside of the courtroom once this verdict was read.
CBS's Katrina Kaufman says a judge could free Combs on bond later today.
He's been in this detention center, and his lawyer is making a plea. He says now that he's not up against this RICO charge, the sex trafficking charges, which were the weightier of these charges, that he should be allowed to go home.
The 2 lesser prostitution convictions come with a maximum prison sentence of 10 years each. The Trump budget bill that passed the Senate yesterday is now up for consideration in the House. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports there are Republicans who don't like what's in it.
He has actually invited several Republican lawmakers who are holding out on this bill over to the White House to try to twist their arms at the last minute here. He's been able to do it before, and House leadership is hoping that he will be able to do it again.
The Trump administration's withholding nearly $7 billion in grants Congress allocated for schools.
The money was supposed to be delivered this week to pay for after-school and summer school programs, teacher training, and programs for students learning English. The Education Department would only say the funding is under review, even though President Trump approved it in March. Tony Thurmond is California's Superintendent of Public Instruction.
This is an illegal action and a moral action that has grave harm for students in our state.
Many schools have already hired staff for the affected programs. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
It's a messy scene in Philadelphia where the largest public workers union is on strike for the first time in almost 40 years. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ross DiMattei says it impacts airport workers to garbage haulers.
Trash piling up all over the city. Reports of illegal dumping throughout the city already taking effect just one day into this strike. We're also hearing reports of rodent activity picking up, so rats and mice.
Microsoft is firing thousands of employees. Second mass layoff in months, less than 4% of the workforce. Del Monte Foods is filing for bankruptcy protection, known for canned fruits and vegetables. Checking Wall Street's. Right now, the Dow is down 32 points. The S&P is higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tampa Bay's TAN Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Yo, Monkey Boy. Yo, what's up? This is DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris. Diamond Dallas Page is going to make you feel the bang.
All right, we are back hanging out in studio here in the Tampa Bay area, 866-826-1340. If you got something to say to Matt, feel free to pick up the phone. If you're interested in arguing with me, we'll do it next week.
Oh.
So I just recently saw a video, and I believe it was, well, I know it was GSP. I believe he was talking to Joe Rogan.
Okay.
And GSP was talking about why he didn't want to fight Nick Diaz. And basically everything he said is exactly the same as what John Jones said about Aspinall.
Nothing to gain.
Nothing to gain.
Only tarnishes his legacy.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
But GSP said it, and they washed it away because everybody loves GSP. Well, not everybody, but, and I don't dislike GSP. I just don't put him at the top of the list.
Is it because he lost to Matt Serra?
Yes.
Did that asterisk
That's part of it.
on his career?
Absolutely.
Because Matt Serra was not supposed to win that fight in any shape or form.
Biggest upset in the history of the UFC.
Is it?
Bar none.
Really?
Yeah, bar none. How could anything be a bigger upset? Close second, in my opinion, Joe Marquis, because I'm allowed to have it, close to Holly Holm beating Ronda, even though I thought that was an easy pick. I didn't think she should have been an underdog. I thought that was a no-brainer. But nobody expected. And you know what else is pretty close? Randy Couture beating Tim Sylvia.
Really?
I don't think many people thought Randy was going to win.
Okay.
And, you know, the way that went down.
Well, Vegas didn't think that Oliveira was going to win because before the fight, the betting odds were so heavily favored for Tapoya to win that fight. You know, but Charles is a monster, a great grappler, can take a punch, fought Gaethje. I mean,
well, I think he proved he can't take
he
a punch.
didn't take that punch.
That
very
punch.
Well. But what kind of greatness are we looking at with Tapoya right now?
Unbelievable. Now, does he, you know, I haven't seen the pound for pound. I used to be involved in it. I'm not anymore. We got somebody on our stream, just so you know, Chuck McNorris.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Any relation to the
Chuck
Norris?
I think that's if Chuck Norris and Conor McGregor had a baby, it would be McNorris.
Nice.
Where were we?
We're talking about Tapoya, like the dominance and
has he leapfrogged?
A double champion, 2-division, following the McGregor roadmap to success.
Well, he's not the same because he didn't hold both belts at the same time because he did relinquish the one belt to go up. He's a double champ, but you know, I think Conor had them both at the same time.
I think it's the first
Amanda
two
had them both at the same time. But I think if you're going to tell me that Khabib is high up, then how do you not move Tapoya possibly above him, undefeated?
And he makes it look easy.
Yeah,
I mean, Tapoya is making it look effortless.
And what you look at, and one of the reasons that I've said what I've said about GSP, that era was less. The talent was less. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, the training's different.
Look at the 3 fighters that Tapoya knocked out his last 3 fights. Are you aware of who they are?
Volkanovski.
Okay.
Oliveira.
Okay.
And
Holloway.
Oh yeah, Max.
Yeah, you know,
that's quite a resume.
So even if there's somebody that that has 6 this or whatever, look at those 3 guys.
But I mean, look, yes, the talent's different now, but now there's so much insight, right? It's like scouting reports for baseball. I mean, these guys know tendencies. They have scouting reports. They know how many leg kicks a fighter throws from the left foot, like from the right foot. They know how many times they take them down and defenses. There's so many analytical components to today's modern fight. They find one weakness, and then the whole training camp is, okay, we're going to put this game plan for this. The era that we're talking about, the golden era of MMA, UFC, was those guys were just fighters. I don't think
I got a fight for you. I know you've been looking to fight somebody.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, Chuck McNorris is looking for somebody to fight.
Yeah,
if there's a man here to fight, he wants a fight.
What are we fighting for?
You're right.
First of all, what weight class are we fighting at?
Does it matter?
Yeah, it
This is
matters.
no. Let's go old school UFC.
Any weight class?
Yeah.
Because like Tapoya said, he doesn't care if he went up 10 pounds to fight Oliveira in a different weight class. In the street, if somebody disrespects his wife, he doesn't get to pick, hey, how much do you weigh before I defend my wife's honor?
It's the first decision. It's the first question. How much do you weigh?
Yeah, how much you weigh? What's your rank? What's your belt?
Did you weigh in?
Well, I mean, what are we fighting for, McNugget? What do they call him?
Are you calling Connor McNugget?
McNugget?
Or are you calling Mac Norris?
McNorris. What
you
are we
want a
fighting
piece
for?
of McNorris and you don't even. He looks a little like Don Fry.
Oh, okay. Like a little
You might want to be
mustache?
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Is Don Fry still around?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at the Hall of Fame last year.
I mean, a lot of our legends are not faring well right now. I mentioned earlier, but Ric Flair's having a major surgery. Hogan and your boy Bubba the Love Sponge is still reporting that he's been on and off a ventilator, that his heart's not strong enough, that his mind is in jeopardy because he's in critical care. So there's a lot of reports. And then Ronnie Coleman, the 8-time Mr. Olympia, is having a major surgery that everybody's coming out on Generation Iron, wishing prayers and prayer warriors and prayer chains. So a lot of our greats are not faring well.
Well, but that's everywhere. Like I went to, I had tickets to one performance, and I still want to talk about this. And then I ended up, because of the decision that I was told, I went to see Peter Frampton.
Okay.
Now, for people younger than you, they may not know who Peter Frampton is. Big name back in the day. All right. Long hair, the 3, 4, 5 pretty big songs. He walked out with a cane.
Yeah.
Then sat throughout. Well, I left after the 6th song so that I could get to my flight. And somebody who's in the music business made a comment about he's sitting down. Now, he must not have, he didn't know. And I said, Peter Frampton walked out with a cane. And he's like, all of our heroes, I didn't say that, he did, getting to that time.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you don't protect yourself now, if you don't protect your joints, I mean, we're going to talk to, a guy later in the 3rd hour that is working towards longevity, that's actually fighting back against, aging and longevity and doing it with.
And I can't wait to hear from him.
Yeah.
Because I did 32 seconds of research like I always do. You resemble him. He doesn't resemble you. You've probably stolen stuff from him.
What are you talking about?
He hasn't taken anything from you. And I'm going to listen to him because I know coming from somebody other than you, it might be interesting.
Well, I'm going to check the list, check it twice. I'm going to find out if your nutrition's been naughty or nice.
Well, we'll do that in the 3rd hour.
Yeah. But no, if you're not protecting yourself now, you're going to pay for it later. If you don't invest in your health now, you're certainly going to pay at some point. Decrease quality of life.
Did you bring me a Diet Coke?
No, it's got aspartame in it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little foreshadowing. The guest we're going to talk to in the 3rd hour, he got me to cook my eggs separately, meaning I am now cooking my egg whites first, separating the yolk. Then after the egg whites harden and turn white, then I add the yolk back in to not cook out the nutrients of the yolk. And so I was like, wow, that makes so much sense, because if you cook broccoli or spinach at high temperature, you cook out all the nutrition, the benefits. So I changed the way I cook my eggs thanks to our 3rd hour guest. I'm excited to talk to him. So he's going to teach me some stuff. He's going to teach you some stuff, and I'm going to teach him some stuff.
Well, I doubt that.
I got something to tell him.
He's going to teach you.
And I drive a sleigh. I have a red sleigh out in the parking lot.
He's going to teach me, just like Randy Couture did. I don't know if you're going to teach us anything.
I'm teaching you. I got stuff. I brought lessons today.
All right, let's get back to. So we didn't touch on the pound for pound though, which Joe Marquardt wanted to talk about. He just brought up the Mount Rushmore, which is true. Mount Rushmore doesn't necessarily mean the best, or you'd be changing that. Well, you still could change it, because there's other presidents in that case, or if you're doing MMA fighters, or if you're doing, I'm going to have a question, for Rip Santa.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody disrespects Rip Santa, that's not disrespecting Santa. Just like you continue to say that the fans in Philly booed Santa Claus.
Yeah, I wonder if they would boo Rip Santa in Philly. Like if he came to town, like would they boo him?
It depends on what he do.
Well, he's Santa.
It's not that he was Santa.
Yeah, the Philly fans booed Santa when he parachuted into the stadium.
He didn't parachute. They took him out of the stands because the real Santa was busy and didn't get there in time.
Well, he had
That's
obligations.
true. So they took a guy wearing a Santa suit out of the stadium after he'd been drinking.
I thought he was on a parachute. Didn't he fly into the stadium at 50-yard line and then the air booed him? Man, can we look that up?
No. They took him out of the stands. They're not going to take a drunk Philadelphia dressed as Santa and put him on any kind of apparatus.
I'm just saying, you guys are the worst fans in all sports.
No, we're the best fans
you can't
because
boo
we know
Santa Claus.
They didn't boo Santa Claus. Because think of it this way. If they booed Santa Claus at the vet, Santa would have never brought gifts. But nobody complained about not getting gifts that Christmas. So they did not boo the real Santa.
It's like Christmas in July. I'm excited about this segment today.
I'm excited that we're done talking about it. Let's hit a break. Coming to you live from, I almost said the Tour to Pizza Studio from the TAN Talk Radio Network.
School.
This is Knockout Radio.
Good old day.
Hey, this is Dangerous, and you are on with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, folks, John Madden here, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris. I mean, I love this guy.
All right, we are back, coming to you live from the TAN Talk Radio Network. The Jack Donkey continues.
You've never used AI? It's like
No.
it's like a great friend. Like you can, like if you have road rage and you're like, instead of like screaming at somebody, you can like just call AI.
Had road rage on the way back from the hospital.
Everybody
today.
has road rage. It's crazy.
Why
out there.
do you, and I know I drive like a lunatic, but why do you haul butt to get in front of me to stop at the red light that's
Man,
right in front of us?
People, I don't know what people are doing. Like half the cars are automated. I just saw a video clip of Phoenix, automated car with no driver, got confused with some construction and ended up going head on to oncoming traffic, got pulled over by the police. So the body cam showed when he went to the window, it rolled down. Then the operator had to talk through the computer to get a live person to like redirect the car. It's getting wild.
How do you ticket a non-human car?
Bro, it's getting so crazy out there with AI. There's robots in Austin walking around as cowboys. Like there's robots.
It's about to get even crazier. Let's go to the phone lines.
Oh Lord.
Your boy Tony on the phone. What up, Tone?
Hey, what's up, guys?
DJ Tony, what's up? I got my Roscoe Elite jersey on today.
I was watching YouTube, loving it.
And your boy,
you guys are looking sharp.
Randy's got a Puerto Rican monkey on his shirt. So I don't know if that's offensive to the monkey. Oh, look at it. Show the camera.
It is not. It's the 8-Man Strong July 4th tee that you can get at 8manstrong.com.
It's a Puerto Rican flag.
I need that.
It's got one star. It's not an American flag. That's a Puerto Rican flag. You got the wrong holiday, Randy.
You're going to have 412 people
with my look.
Protesting outside the glass windows.
Why? Oh, you got the wrong shirt on.
And then when all those people we're not going to be able to leave, which means we're going to be live for the next 2 weeks.
Puerto Ricans are loyal, man. They show out for boxing. They come to they support their own. Fat Joe and Pretty Boy Pablo. They all show out, man. Like Puerto Ricans get behind their people.
Slim Shady's pretty cool too.
Huh? Don't ever say that again. What's up, Tony? What's good, baby? What's good with you?
Oh, just getting ready for Arnold's fight next week. Main event, Hollywood, Florida. Excited for that.
Yeah, main event, BKFC coming up. I talked to my friends over at Pure Culture Vodka. They're going to get you some product, so you guys can celebrate down there in the after party. And
is this a plug fest? Is that what we're doing?
I'm just saying. I hooked up my people, man. I got to get. Hey, I'm Puerto Rican, baby. You know this.
Oh my God! 866-826-1340.
If Jake Paul can be Puerto Rican, I can be Puerto Rican.
Felt like you were probably going to be there anyways, Randy. So
yeah, I'm going to walk down. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to walk to Fort Lauderdale.
And I don't know if you might be the only one there because we'll be in Hollywood. But no, I'm joking.
No, I want to make sure I get good seats. I like going where nobody else is. It works out well.
Yeah, right.
Did you watch the fights at all over the weekend? I know you're a big UFC guy.
Here we go.
Yeah, who's your Mount
Rushmore? Man. All right, that was a good one. I'll give it to you. I actually did. I watched some of them. I was actually DJing at the time, but I did watch some of them.
I've had 4 people put me on their Mount Rushmore because I got you to watch a UFC fight.
But I always watch the UFC. I mean, I just I don't know, man. I guess I'm just I'm a bigger bare knuckle fan. It's all good. What it is. And boxing. I like boxing and I like my bare knuckle.
Well, most people like that.
I don't know. A lot of people like the MMA and the grappling. Well, obviously BKFC or bare knuckle, should I say, has grappling, but the takedowns and all that. I just can't get into.
All right, so let me ask you a BKFC question, and if you can't answer this properly, I will make a phone call to David Feldman instead.
Oh God!
How many more fights is Ken C. Morrison going to need to have? And I know that just was his first before he fights for the heavyweight title.
I'm gonna say at least probably 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I mean, Perdomo has 7.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under 4.
Well, the thing is, Big Ben's the champ. I don't see them trying to put him against Big Ben. There's just no way. And unless Big Ben goes to super heavyweight, which I think he might, and then they open up the belt. But then he still has to deal with Arnold Adams and all the other big guys out there. So I say at least 5 to 6 fights, because Perdomo has 7 right now. He's undefeated, all 7 first-round knockouts, and he hasn't had a title fight yet.
So is your number 5 or is your number 6?
We are right now. We're going for we're fight 8 against him. No. You say my number for him?
Yeah.
I'll say 5 fights.
All right, I'm still going to go under. I'm going to bet you a ham sandwich that it'll be under 5 fights before he fights.
Because of his name?
Yeah.
Because of his family name?
Not his name.
Just his name.
It's his name.
Well, it's Morrison. It's his dad, Tommy.
The Morrison name
legacy
is such a big name in the combat sports world. And let's be honest, he looked pretty good. Now, I know it's his first fight. I know it's, not fighting against the upper echelon like Adams and Big Ben and whatever. But if he has 1 or 2 more fights, I mean, he'll definitely have at least one, but I'm going to say he'll have 2. And then if he does the same as he did last week or the week before, whatever it was, I think they put him in there.
So it's all who you know and not what you know.
I don't see it happening because, I mean, obviously I know certain things that I can't say, but obviously I just don't see it happening. There's too many other people that are already 3-0, 4-0 that are way bigger than him. I mean, yes, he has a big name, but some of these other fighters have huge social media, with hundreds of thousands of followers and everything like that as well, and can sell tickets just as well as he can. So I say at least 5 fights.
I think Connor disagrees with you.
Connor McKenna, you got beat by him. No. He definitely disagree.
I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Connor who?
Connor McKenna. He's the one who he beat.
No, I'm talking about the Connor who claims he owns BKFC.
Well, we'll see this weekend. Oh, man. So what I'm most excited for this weekend is McGregor is a huge Perdomo fan. He's always, hyping him up, and which he deserves his hype. Like I said, 7 knockouts all in the first round. I get it. But I just can't wait to see Connor's face when Arnold knocks out Perdomo this weekend, or next weekend, I'm sorry.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you what will happen if that happens?
What?
Connor will be all over your boy.
I know.
Adams will be, his favorite fighter as soon as that happens.
And we already discussed stuff of what's going to happen, with Arnold. Arnold's not that guy. Arnold's not the guy that's going to, feed into he doesn't care about all that hype and all that crap. So he'll give him a little hand dap, and that's about it, though. You're going to be wanting to party with him in the after parties and all that stuff like everybody else does.
But is he going to get his photo with him?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's Conor McGregor.
Yeah, he'll wrap the belt around him.
Good for social media. Yeah, and I'm sure Conor will be the one that puts the belt on him.
For sure.
Okay.
So I say 3rd round knockout, Arnold Adams. That's my prediction.
Coming straight from Arnold Adams' manager.
Oh.
Right?
And if it's yeah. Okay. And if it's Perdomo, then it's going to be 1st round. But as long as Arnold stays out of the way and uses that jab, I believe that he will get it done. We haven't seen Perdomo actually even get hit yet, so we don't even know. He hasn't even been caught with a clean shot yet. Even see what his chin is really like.
Randy's looking at the screen, looking at his Puerto Rican flag shirt. he's got the switches settings to Spanish.
Our good friend.
You're gonna start adding stickers, adding hearts.
Our good friend Joe Marquardt just messaged on the Book of Faith something about Tim Sylvia and Brandy.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So I stopped reading it after it said Brandy.
Yeah, but Tony's got a good point. You can print out little little stickers, stars, and just get 49 more stars on that shirt, and you'll be ready for the 4th.
If it is Puerto Rico, I do want it though.
No, it's sick. It's an 8-man strong Abraham Lincoln Puerto Rican shirt.
Abraham Lincoln.
Look at the beard. Look at the beard.
If this comes together, we may have our own 8-man strong shirt.
What?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah. I've suggested a couple things, and if Adam and his brother are willing to do it, the 8-man will be on it. Staff Zone will be on it. Knockout Radio will be on it. All incorporated, not just logos.
So let's do a Mount Rushmore of Knockout Radio of you, me, and then 2 other co-host contributors.
Well,
Why would it be you?
I heard you talking about Mount Rushmore. I wanted to ask you, Randy, what is your Mount Rushmore of guests that you've had on?
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. DJ Tony coming through
throwing
with the
at
heater.
it. I was going to look at the clock and see if I could get out of it right now.
You can't get out of this.
I may not be a UFC fan, but I'm pretty good at questions.
Yeah, no, I like it. Well, first and foremost, best guest I've ever had, Virgil Reynolds, Dusty Rhodes, legendary interview. So he would definitely be first. And you're saying guest on the show, not guest.
Yeah, like on the actual show, not like at the UFC events or anything like that.
God, I don't. It's Knockout Radio.
Have you ever interviewed a president?
No.
Never had George Bush.
Yeah,
a baseball game.
Dave Feldman.
Oh yeah, Dave Feldman, president.
Yeah. God, I guess I got to lean towards Stone Cold because that was a great interview.
Okay, all wrestlers.
Well, and I'm trying not to go all
Right.
wrestlers.
Is that all you know is wrestlers?
No, because there's some other like off the air. If you were to say my 4 top whatever, and I got 2 hours or 2 minutes that I got to finish this before the bottom of the hour, or we could go through the
Sylvester Stallone.
No, I never had him on.
Have you met him yet?
I guess I could say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for being the worst interview ever.
Well, that's not. No, go your 4 best all time. I mean, you've interviewed everybody, right?
I know. Well,
Dr. Oz, Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg.
Fortunately, it's the bottom of the hour, so stick there. No, don't hang up.
Don't
Tony,
dodge it.
No, I'm not going to dodge
No,
it.
I'll stay on.
No, stay on.
We're
We're gonna put Tony on hold. We have to hit the bottom of the hour. It'll give me 3 minutes to try to. I don't remember yesterday. You want me to remember 1985?
Yeah. Well, that would be Donnie Baseball or Mark McGuire
or Donnie Osmond. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Matt McClellan.
This is Joe Vicious, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
I'm very excited to announce that Knockout Radio finally has our very own Challenge Coin, thanks to Challenge Coin Country. Challenge Coin Country is a family-run business with over 17 years experience making custom challenge coins, lapel pins, bottle openers, keychains, and many other custom products. They even produced 2 different variations for us, one for military recipients and a slightly different coin for civilians. I strongly suggest you check them out at challengecoincountry.com with free express shipping, and they proudly offer discounts for first responders and military as well. That's Challenge Coin Country at challengecoincountry.com.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hey everybody, this is James Young from the rock band Styx, and you are talking sports with Randy Harris. Don't touch that dial.
That was James Young from the band Styx. All right, so
you got stumped. You're like,
well, I'm not getting stumped. Tony, I need to ask you a question because we're arguing during the break. Ask the question again.
All right. Randy, what is your top 5 guests ever on Knockout Radio?
It was top 4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay.
Right now he's got 2 wrestlers.
Mount Rushmore. There you go.
Right. All right. So, see, Tony's question was my favorite, not biggest names, because we're disagreeing. Well, again, one came to me that's definitely on there. And what's your name again?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Said it's not a big enough name. You know, you're trying to get the biggest names. That's not what you're asking, right?
No. Yeah, your fourth favorite guest.
All right. So definitely in the top 4 is Chris Daughtry from the band Daughtry. It's for a personal reason, but that was the question. My favorite.
All right.
Was that the guy who did your ring, or do you have your ringtone? After?
No, the ringtone is Rocky Balboa. Daughtry did the song called Gone Too Soon, which was a song him and his writing partner wrote about a stillborn. His writing partner had a stillborn. And as much as I hate saying anything good about Matt, and I really don't want to, I can understand what those two went through and what Matt did Daughtry's role, when we went through it. So honestly, Daughtry would then have to be number 1. If it's my favorite interview of all time, Daughtry would have to be, because I finally got to thank him. And you know what? I may have to say Gian Silva, who sat down with us on Friday at International Fight Week. And that's who beat the tar out of Bryce Mitchell in Miami. So, yeah, I'm going to put him on it. Again, totally for personal reasons.
All right, so give us the 4 biggest names.
I did make him cry 3 times.
Give us 4 biggest names you've ever had.
Well, I thought I said Stone
Cold.
Cold.
He needs one more.
No, Stone Cold, Dusty Rhodes, Daughtry, and Gian Silva.
Oh, okay.
That's 4.
Right, so now go 4 that people actually know who they are. Like household names, biggest star.
Everybody knows Stone Cold.
Michael Jackson, Madonna. Like, give me legendary, like
Tiger Woods,
Petey Wheatstraw,
Tiger Woods, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Tiger Woods is a good one.
Yeah. I emceed the unveiling of his website.
You don't know who Petey Wheatstraw is, do you?
No idea.
No, the Human Tornado?
No.
Dolomite?
No.
Rudy Raymore?
No.
Legendary actor.
No idea. Richard Petty. Let me ask you a question. And everybody that's listening on Facebook, I just threw it out there. Everybody that's on the YouTube channel, who is a bigger name? Not that it matters, but we're arguing this in studio, which you know what that means. One is right and the other's Matt. Richard Petty or Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
I mean, for the sport, I would say Petty, but obviously Dale got the bigger name because he died in the accident.
Blocking.
I honestly didn't know. I mean, I knew what racing was in NASCAR, but I really didn't pay attention into it until Dale Earnhardt Sr. died, because my neighbor, literally his whole house was like a Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jr. monument to them. Like literally every single thing in their house was freaking Dale Earnhardt.
Was it 3 doors down?
Literally, my next door
Did he
neighbor,
give you
John,
3
his
steps?
dad was the hugest NASCAR fan. And his whole house was Dale Earnhardt Sr. stuff and Jr. stuff. Literally everything you could think collector-wise they had.
All right, so are we done talking about me? I gave you my 4, right? So we're good?
Yep. Boom.
Okay, there's my 4. That's my 4.
I think you got
personal.
Your personal's fine, but I think you got a legendary list from all the Super Bowls you've covered,
Well, of
all the
course.
media row.
No, I get that.
If you really took the time, you probably have like Muhammad Ali. Did he do your show?
He didn't do the show, but I had talked to him numerous times.
No.
Ted Williams did some cool stuff with Ted Williams.
Is
but it wasn't on the
is
show.
he frozen?
I believe so.
That cryo.
Abraham Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln.
yeah. After Randy fought in the Civil War, he
That was his first interview ever.
that was his first road rage. Is like when a guy cut him off on horseback. And now there's a shirt commemorating that on his chest right now.
Randy, one interview interviewer that got you the maddest during your interview.
Yeah, like a Jim Rome, like a Chris
Kareem
Everett.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
Never came to fisticuffs.
I gotta hear this story. I've never heard this story.
Oh yeah. Tell everybody who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. He's not.
This still is a sports show, so everybody knows who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is.
Everybody knows Kareem.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Lou Alcindor.
Okay.
So they contacted me to have him on to promote whatever he was promoting at the time. And as soon as he called in, he didn't want to be there. And you could tell it. And probably the weirdest thing ever was 3-4 minutes in, I ended the interview and said, "Thanks, have a great day." And you know me in the word legend, the legend, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I'm careful that I did what I was supposed to. I'm talking about what he's promoting first before I get into some other questions. And he didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to be there. So I made that come true.
Damn.
But no Geraldo, no like
Geraldo?
Geraldo. How do you say the G? It's like Jorge Giselle or
Geraldo.
George.
It's Geraldo. It's
Geraldo. So Geraldo, have you any chairs flying, any fisticuffs, any Jim Rome, Chris Everett? I mean, what? Nothing physical came about?
Not to that point. I mean, there was something, but he wasn't there. The whole problem with the interview was he wasn't there. So we called him and left. And the person I'm speaking of is former Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend Kenyatta Walker. I believe has had more holding. He just got called last week for holding again.
Okay.
And he hasn't played in forever. So he was supposed to do a show in Newport Richie. And this is true. A gentleman brought his sick son out of the hospital to come meet Kenyatta Walker.
Oh, wow.
And Kenyatta Walker never showed.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
so we called him.
Well, whose fault is that, though?
Kenyatta Walker's.
Damn it. He knew the kid was getting out of the hospital?
No, he didn't know that.
Oh, he didn't know he was going to release him.
But he knew when the limo pulled up to his apartment in Tampa that the limo was there to take him to the show that he was committed to do.
But it's not his fault that the parent took the kid off a respirator and like
you don't know how close that is
to meet an autograph.
Yeah, you don't know how close that is.
I'm sure, but that's. I mean, I get the Make-A-Wish thing and like the last whatever, but man, that's but that you can't put that on Walker for not. I mean,
absolutely, you can. Absolutely,
really,
absolutely. If you commit to something and you know that it's being promoted to something, which is ironic timing, because now I'm going to bring up, and I want to be very careful because I can get beat up severely.
By
someone.
By McNorris?
And but I will tell you by who outside, but not in here. I bought tickets to go to see a performer.
Okay.
I was under the impression that the name of the performer was the performer. All right. So it's not like, and I know this sounds, but I don't want to really name it. The person that I went to go see is not like Jabberwocky. Okay. It's not the Blue Man Group.
Okay.
Where they're interchangeable.
Sure.
Okay. But, we've talked about when bands change and, Little River bands from Kansas now when they were really from down under. So I was going to go see this performer and he has a show name, whatever it may be. And I got wind a day or two before that the understudy was going to be doing it. Now, when I discussed this with my wife, she's like, well, when you go to a play, it could say, today's lead being done by the understudy, whatever. And I would be just as mad, to be honest. If I'm going to go to a show because of who the main is. We went to a show in New York and Stephen Lynch was the main. If you don't know who Stephen Lynch is, please go to YouTube and watch some of Stephen Lynch. Phenomenal Craig Christ. You being religious, you'll love the song Craig Christ.
Okay.
My son-in-law, very religious, did not love the song Craig Christ. But I get that. But I would be mad. So when I found out I was going to see this performer, he'd been on TV, blah, 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 blah. So it's the same kind of thing. It changed the name to protect the innocent. Okay. Screeching hard.
Okay, I'm just asking. All right. So what's the resolution? Like,
I didn't go. I went to Peter Frampton.
So you didn't go?
Yeah. I didn't want to see the performance. I wanted to see
the person,
the
performer.
Right. It would be like, I'm going to go see Cher, but singing for Cher today is her understudy, Lisa.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Yeah.
Now, now I know it's just a performance. It's not Peter Frampton. You know what I'm saying? It's because that person, it's the persona.
Now, does it matter for let's say Blue Man Group, or let's say DJ Marshmello? He's got the big head, right? So do you care if the real original DJ Marshmello is there, or is it just a guy with a marshmallow head playing music? Do you care?
Well, yeah, I care.
Really? You care?
Yeah.
You care who's under the mask?
Under Marshmello.
Like the mask singer.
Under the Marshmello dude, because there's only one. It's Marshmello. Blue Men, that there's 4 different groups of Blue Men running around the country.
Sure.
Right? The East Coast, West Coast. It's like the Globetrotters. Going in.
Have you been to a Blue Man Group?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a great show. We actually got free tickets on an airline.
Have you ever been so competitive that you've bought crap that you don't want just so somebody else can't have it? Now, I've done it numerous times.
Bought it just so people can't have it? That's diabolical, man.
I've done it twice that I know of.
What did you buy? The toilet paper that they stream?
No, what they do is towards the end of the show, and thanks for getting me on more ramps, they stick the paintballs
in
their mouth,
right?
And they spit them,
right?
And they make a painting. And the other blue man dude spins okay. Well, so my other co-host, who honestly I disliked more than I dislike you.
That's not possible.
It is.
I'm number one.
That I dislike you the most?
Rushmore. Yeah, no, I'm on your Mount Rushmore.
I do
most
not
disliked co-host.
No, I do not dislike you the most.
Am I on your Mount Rushmore most disliked?
Thank you very much. To be honest, I think you're Mount Rushmore most disliked and most liked.
Oh, nice.
So you're a duel. But I dislike this dude so much. We were competing against each other, and I was not going to let him get it. So I spent like $350 for a painting that he spit the balls to make this circle thing.
I can take you to Sherwin-Williams to get that for 75 cents.
The other one was I was at a charity event, and I bought I can't remember her name, of Jennifer Capriani, I think, a very attractive tennis player. And this old lady wanted the skirt, and I wouldn't let her have it. So I outbid her. It's in my studio at home.
So you're just that guy at an auction. I mean, you're just bidding on stuff just to drive up the price.
Both of you people, that'd be you, Tony, and you, Matt, and everybody listening, that's what auctions want.
They want you to drive it up.
They do. Well,
Yeah,
no,
for
they
sure.
want it to be a competitive thing.
Have you
It's
ever
like,
got stuck with anything? Have you ever like been that big guy? Yep, 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 and then somebody drops out. You're like, oh, I just got stuck with
because I've only been on stuff that
Jennifer Capriati's skirt.
I would have liked to have dropped out hundreds before. But
You
no,
still wear the skirt?
Yeah, all the time.
Nice.
Yeah. I break the glass and put it on, and then I put it back under the
So
glass.
do they still do auctions? Like, are auctions still a thing? Like for sports memorabilia?
Yeah.
Can we go live? Like,
yeah,
I think we should.
every
go.
day.
Yeah,
let's go. Not online, but like go in person. They still do like the little paddles, and you wave them up in the air.
Yeah, but in order to get a paddle, they take your credit card.
Well, that makes sense because if you commit to stuff,
Right.
you got to pay for
Yeah,
it.
so you're thinking about you want to raise it up and then haul ass when you get stuck with something.
Yeah, what if I use your credit card? Can I borrow your credit card?
You can borrow. Time for a break.
Oh.
This is Knockout Radio. We're going to keep Tony on for one more segment. This is Knockout Radio. We'll be right back.
This is Archie Manning, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Hi, this is Sean Payton. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back coming to you live from TAN Talk Radio Network. Big shout out to Cool Breeze, by the way. Cool Breeze took care of my air. They went out last night, came out this morning.
Shout out to Mitch.
Should all be.
Shout out to AI. It's starting to get smarter. It's
yeah,
like
we broke the AI when you asked him questions about me.
Well, I just asked if you were at the Civil War. Like, if you were going to pick a side. I'm just asking if you were there, if you were live, and you're on the battle line between North and South, which one are you going with?
I'm going to stay in my studio, and I'm going to broadcast play-by-play of the Civil War.
Would you really? Like in a bayonet. Oh, man.
All right, Tony, let me ask you a question.
Let's go.
What's your favorite athlete you represent?
I represent. Oh man, I can't.
That's a loaded question, kid. Well, it's like who's your favorite kid?
I have a favorite.
Yeah. It's like
everybody has a favorite kid. You have a favorite kid.
I don't. Really.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
Matt definitely does.
Yeah, he does.
Which one do I like?
Now all of a sudden he's playing stupid.
Well, which one do I like better?
I'm not even gonna get you in that type of trouble.
Why? He says it publicly all the time.
I don't even know which one I like more.
I watched something and I even told my son about it. So a reporter asked a fan, I don't remember what team, so we're going to make it up, like a team that never wins. We'll say either the Toronto Maple Leafs or the New York Jets, whichever one you want. And they said, what would you give up for your team to win the world title? And the guy goes, my second born. I really love my first one.
Damn. Wow, I love all my kids the same. I can't even. Favorite athlete? I guess I would have to go with Gabrielle Roman, probably because she was my first athlete that I signed. We're both from New Jersey. We just got that New Jersey bond. So probably her.
All right. Perfect. I'm going to ask Matt you this. What's the first and stupidest thing you've ever done?
Oh, the dumbest thing I ever did was to impress a girl in college. I heard that there was a new transfer guy, a basketball player from Australia.
Oh.
And I heard that this cheerleader liked him, or liked the idea of him. She hadn't met him yet. So I pretended to have an Australian accent at a party. And then he walked in. And he was like 6'8", and I was like, "Oh, time to go." So that was probably the dumbest thing I ever did.
Dumbest thing, I gotta say, it didn't actually work. I pretended that I was crying that this girl didn't want to go on a date with me, but I was like laughing about it. But I like kept putting Visine in my eyes so that my eyes would run, and it worked though. Ended up dating her for like 2 years or something. But probably the dumbest, funniest thing I've done.
You know that Visine's illegal in Russia.
Oh, well, make sure not to go there.
It gets the red out. Come on.
I believe marijuana is illegal in Russia.
Is it really?
Taking it through at an airport. Just ask. Speaking of,
100%.
We'll change the subject. Thoughts on the University of Penn that has pulled all of the titles that the male won swimming female and has now given them to their rightful owners.
Dang.
The transgender movement. Yeah. I mean, Pride Month just ended.
And what's ironic is Thomas's teammates are now upset. I wonder why.
Because they lost money, sponsorship, scholarships.
I'm assuming that Thomas, and we'll just say it that way instead of what gender may or may not be, swam relays as well. So if you're pulling the medal and the championships and the titles,
the teammates lose their
right, they would lose it
recognition.
as well.
Yeah. But does it matter? I mean, are they going to come and confiscate it? They're going to come and take the medal back?
Yes.
Like come to your house.
Yes.
Be like, open the door.
Yes.
We're here to take our medal.
Yes.
They can. Legally, they can't do that.
And they did that in the Olympics too.
There's no way.
They made them return the Olympic medal.
It's not a criminal act to keep it. Like you can keep it if it's in your possession in your house. You can't come in and seize a medal. That's ludicrous.
No.
Now they can get pressured.
You can ask Ludacris what's ludicrous.
You'll never swim again. You'll never compete professionally. They can do things to pressure you to relinquish it, but you can't force strong arm somebody.
Step up once in your time on Knockout Radio. Call the University of Penn.
All right.
And have somebody on the show next week.
Well, as Biggie said.
What did Sean Cope say?
Whoa,
Penn
yeah.
State, you know.
Don Combs, that's crazy.
Yeah. Penn State
He,
pin.
made it out.
Penn State. No, but look, but nobody could come into my house and take anything. Like, there's nobody that's going to come into my house and take anything. And if you don't want to give up your medal that you earned, that you swam your life for, because some other guy changed genders, like, that's ludicrous. Like, there's not a chance. There's no way that happens.
Let's find out. Call Penn and find out if they're making them return if there was medals. I don't know if there's medals.
Well, what would you give a swimmer if they won on a trophy?
Handshake. Congratulations, you just won.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to get some kind of
Your
ribbon,
team of
medallion.
3.5 women beat 4 women.
I'm sure it's not a
Congratulations.
ribbon. There's nothing to pin it to. Like, they don't have a shirt on. So
Yeah,
it's
they
got to be
do.
a medallion.
What do you mean they don't have a shirt on?
In a swimmer, they don't have shirts on.
Really?
Not swim.
Female swim shirtless?
Well, did the trans guy wear a top?
Of course.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
he went all in.
Yeah. Well, no. He went all in.
Right.
Oh, my God. 866-826-1340. Call in. Complain to Matt. You win prizes.
Man, I don't know. It's tough. But Maine banned it, right? I mean, and now with Trump involved, I'm sure all those records are going to get reset, right?
Can we get back to, I know.
So Randy, I was gonna say, Randy, before you get taken off the air, let's so when is the next cruise, Randy?
Working on it. You know, I talked to Margaritaville at Sea, and a lot of people registered. Only about, I think 7 or 8 took advantage of the free cruise. I still don't understand that. But we're working on it. You know, Chuck Liddell's on board. Brad Penny's on board. A couple other MMA fighters. Might have to get a bare knuckle guy. I don't know. Maybe Mike Perry. Be fun.
Then I'm gonna give your guy another plug because I have a question. If you can ask your guys over at Rhino Cards, I'm trying to find someone who can make customized cards for me. So I know, you know, they got a whole bunch of card connections. So
I know somebody.
Something you can. Oh yeah, I need something.
How many cards? How many cards do you need made?
Well, so I'm trying to start off basically a bare knuckle line for our fighters, or not even bare knuckle line, but for all my fighters, and basically do like a set of 10 that has a cut of their uniform in it, and then like maybe 50 regular cards, like a 1 of 50 set for each fighter for each fight.
I absolutely have the person, and I don't know if that numbers will work for them, but they are already,
I can do more.
They're already doing it. So I'm sure that Britton Hart and the company that she started making cards.
Oh yeah.
You know, would be more than happy to do that.
Yeah. I'll talk off air about that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No worries. Yeah.
Well, anyone else that you might know?
Okay. No, I do have a few people that are able to do that.
I thought you were going to go with like Panini and all the people.
I was really just trying to give you a Rhino card.
A plug. Yeah.
Well, Panini and Topps and those guys aren't going to do 50 cards.
Yeah.
No, I know. Not even if I have to do whatever, 1,000.
55?
It's not like it's that much.
If you do 55, they may. I don't know if they'll do 50.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
58. If there's 58 of them, then for sure.
Or just do one gold Joe Rogan card.
No.
That's all you need. The
I actually have the card designed already. I'll send it to you, Randy, so you can see. I had one made for Arnold Adams.
Okay.
I haven't dropped it yet, but yeah, I just need somebody to actually print it.
I'm sure I can take care of that. And Rhino Cards sits that Joe Rogan gold from 2009 Topps round 1. It's getting ready to be sent off to be graded.
What's the anticipated value of said card?
This is what really bothers me. You know, in this whole collectible, you know, so it's worth somewhere between 4 and 6, I think.
Okay.
But if it's graded, I believe it goes up to like 2,500.
Yeah.
And then depending on what the value will be graded is how much they charge you to grade it. So it's not like every card is $25. You know, if this card is not that valuable, it's $25. If that's funny. If
what's fun?
Joe Rogan's gold card is worth $2,500, they'll probably charge $400. Rip Santa said tape knuckles or 20-ounce gloves. Which would you?
I guess like a percentage then.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
bare knuckle, they're not taped. Bare knuckle is.
So with the cards, like what? I don't know. Which would you rather have, a Joe Rogan Gold card 101, or would you rather have like the card with the Melendez brothers, the two brothers that killed their parents that are in the background of NBA?
Why do
card?
you want one?
I would rather have the Joe Rogan because I literally have like 6 of those.
That's
cards.
what I was just going to say to him. I just said, why do you want one? Because I have a stack of them, not knowing that the Melendez brothers are in the card.
Bro, I would kill to have one of those.
Actually, Matt, you know, in that pack that you bought me for my birthday, the what is the NBA? Actually, I have it right here. 1990-91 NBA hoops basketball set that you gave me. It has that card in it, but I already had like 3 or 4 of them that I've collected over the time.
I'm shocked knowing Matt the way that he, gives gifts, that he didn't take it out and just give you the rest of the set.
Well, the whole pack was sealed, so it was an actual whole box. It was a cool gift. I can't lie. The whole entire set of the 90-91
All right,
NBA.
we're at the top of the hour. We got to hit the top of the hour. Tony, thanks for
Yes,
calling in. We appreciate it. If you want to jump on board, 866-826-1340. Interview coming up at 15 minutes. We'll be right back.
This is Alex Smith, quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. 8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Sean Diddy Combs was convicted of prostitution-related offenses today, but acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering, charges that could have put him behind bars for life. Now the judge will decide whether to keep him in jail while he awaits sentencing. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
The prosecution is absolutely gunning for the max here. But Sean Combs also, when that verdict came in, he turned around to his family and he mouthed to them, "I'm coming home."
Legal analyst Laurie Levinson on why things went the way they did.
The prosecution had overcharged the case, and that made the jury a bit suspicious, and the jury focused their verdict only where there really was strong proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
The jury deliberated just 13 and a half hours. Republican leaders in the House are pushing ahead with President Trump's tax and spending cuts package, despite concerns in their own party. Correspondent Nicole Killian on the race to meet Trump's July 4th deadline.
Some members of the House Freedom Caucus, as well as some of those moderate members, are expected to meet at the White House today. So the White House insists that it is working the phones and doing all it can to try to assuage lawmakers' concerns.
Brian Kohberger pleaded guilty today to killing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Yes.
CBS's Carter Evans.
The terms of the plea deal are that he's basically going to get life in prison, and it would be 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. He would also not have the option to appeal.
The family of one of the murdered students is angry about the plea deal, saying there was no jury and no justice. Relatives also hope to hear a motive in the trial. Ukraine says it's ready to buy or rent air defense systems after U.S. aid was paused. The Trump administration is citing concerns over stockpiles. That's increased pressure on Europe to fill the gaps. French President Macron spoke to Russia's president yesterday. It was their first call in 3 years. Another long-treasured American company is finding itself strapped financially, as Jim Krasula reports.
The Del Monte Foods Company has filed for bankruptcy protection. The 139-year-old company is best known for its canned fruits and vegetables.
Del Monte vegetables are picked and packed the same day to seal in nutrition.
The California-based company that's now foreign-owned has seen its sales slide as U.S. consumers look for healthier and cheaper products. Del Monte says it will continue to operate as normal despite its financial troubles.
On Wall Street, stocks are mixed again today. The Dow Jones Industrial is currently down more than 70 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
Tampa Bay's TAN Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hey, don't switch that dial. You got Joey Coco Diaz, and this is Talking Sports with my main man, Randy Harris, here for you. Don't switch it. I'll shoot you.
All right, we are back. And as I jumped online just to look if any news has come out on the Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis situation, the fighter who we keep calling just the fighter, Luis Hernandez.
Yeah, anything?
Nothing yet. Well, the athletic commission is supposed to meet in 3 weeks. So it's nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to come down other than a possible temporary suspension before they make a decision, which all I can do is, I got to be honest with you, I hope it happens.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the Cain Velasquez thing. If you don't, or if you give a slap on the wrist, everybody's going to think that they can do it.
Sure. You got to set a precedent. I got to make sure that people act differently if they see that there's a real repercussions from their actions.
And that's why, and I've said it numerous times, I've never allowed my kids to say, I'm sorry. You're not sorry. You just got caught.
Right. That's a big difference.
If I don't do something, then you're going to think it's okay to continue to do whatever it may be. Not clean your room, not take out the trash, come home late, not fill up the gas, whatever it may be.
Well, what about when it comes to food companies and nutrition, like not being forthcoming with their packaging and their food and their additives. But I know you weren't listening to the break, but at the top of the hour, they just talked about Del Monte, the 139-year company that takes pride in packaging their fruits same day to lock in the freshness, is on a slump because consumers are waking up. They're not eating canned fruits that are full of sugars and things, or people are waking up to nutrition. So accountability and repercussions and practices, that the traditions of America are changing. People are waking up to that, and I think it's for the better.
And when's Diet Coke supposed to take whatever that is out?
I'll tell you, aspartame will be foreign. It will be banned by the end of this year. You won't be able to buy it in your Diet Coke. They will have to change the recipe. I saw something this week that Coca-Cola had 3.5 grams of cocaine in the original formula.
Yeah, and there is at least one bottle still in existence.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's the vault.
In Atlanta.
Yeah, in the safe.
Right.
Yeah.
And Coca-Cola was basically invented for a dentist that they would use during procedures.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
That's what the cocaine was.
That was for headaches.
No.
That is for the dura lining of the brain.
It was for a dental procedure.
Because Pepsi was to treat dyspepsia, which is upset stomach. It's basically modern day Pepto-Bismol.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
And I don't know what Dr. Pepper does. Or who he is. Do you know who Dr. Pepper is?
Of course I do.
Is he friends with Dr. Parkinson? Who is this guy?
He had Parkinson. He's not friends with Parkinson.
Okay. Dr. Parkinson, apparently.
How about Mr. Green Jeans? You know who that is?
Mr. Green Jeans?
Yeah.
The Jolly Green Giant?
No, Mr. Green Jeans, I believe was it Romper Room or it was Captain Kangaroo, I think. Captain Kangaroo.
That's an old school.
He's a great captain.
Yeah.
What's your favorite captains? How about we throw that up there? 866-826-1340. Your favorite captain.
Ooh, let's go down the list.
All right. What's your first captain?
All right. You got to go Captain Crunch.
Captain Kirk. Could you go Captain Crunch before Captain Kirk?
Oh, Captain Crunch? I don't think Captain Kirk ever had his own cereal line.
He had much more.
The Enterprise?
Yeah. Yeah.
Captain Kirk.
He could transport down on a
Captain D's?
Who?
The restaurant chain, Captain D's?
Never heard of it.
How can you not know Captain D's?
I don't know what that is.
Shut up. It's like Long John Silver's rival, competitor.
Couldn't tell you who it is.
What?
Yeah.
narrated a Captain D. You lying.
I'm
you
telling
traveled
you,
all over the country.
I've never heard of it.
No way. Somebody look up, I got to look up where the closest one is. Because they're all coming back. All those
Sure they are.
nostalgic brands. I can't wait for Sizzler.
Big Boy coming
Ponderosa.
back? Big Boy coming back?
You know what? In Wyoming, at a BKFC, we were driving through Wyoming and Cody, and there's a huge, what's it called? Burger Boy or
Big Boy?
Big Boy statue, and there's just nothing but farm.
I've seen a statue. I think out in Pasadena, Florida. I think I've seen one. But Bonanza's coming back?
Well, I mean, I think they should bring all those back. Whataburger's coming to Tampa. They
never had one.
What?
I've never had a Whataburger.
What other captains are there? There's
the Captain and Tania.
The what?
You don't know the group Captain and Tania? No. They were famous for "Love Will Keep Us Together," and then they got divorced. That's true. That's true. Their big hit was "Love Will Keep Us Together."
Oh, you got Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, Michael Bolton's song is pretty good.
Let's see, what's the list of captains? I guess AI would be good for this.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
AI? You just say
that's cheating, though.
What do you mean? Talk to AI. Hey.
Oh my God! Live on the air.
Listen, co-pilot. Give me a list of the best captains of all time.
Let's start with a few legends. Nelson from naval history.
Captain Nelson. Never heard of him.
Don't talk. You're interrupting co-pilot. Co-pilot, go ahead. Sorry about that.
This is awful.
No, now you upset him. Look, every time we have a guest call in, whether it's AI or it's a real person.
How many packs of cigarettes did Captain AI smoke?
Co-pilot, how many cigarettes do you smoke?
You're such an idiot.
0.
Tell me a captain. It's your turn. Don't cheat.
Who's the best captain of all time?
Captain Kirk is the best.
Captain James T. Kirk of Star Trek is often considered one of the best fictional.
There you go.
Fictional.
Real or fictitious?
Who's the best captain, a real captain?
Oh my God. This is brutal.
Captain Kangaroo?
That'll work. You didn't even say it when I said his name a minute ago.
AI is going to take over the world.
I'll be gone by then, so it don't matter.
Do you think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, how much time do you think you got left?
Not much.
Do you feel like it's the end?
Not at all.
You don't like? Do you when you go to sleep? Serious question. When you go to sleep, do you think that this might be like? Do you think that before you close your eyes, like this might be the?
You're going to make me say this publicly?
Yeah.
That's not what I think. The last thing I crossed my mind.
Okay.
But I do think this, and I haven't in a while. So now you're going to bring it back.
Okay.
For a long time, until fairly recently, the last thing that I would think about before I go to sleep is I'm one day closer.
Yeah, for sure. But if you reframe time, because look, at 18, you haven't made any real life decisions on your own. You haven't. The world's in front of you. You haven't started a career.
I did.
Well, you haven't started education. You haven't gone to college yet. So like 18, people feel invincible because they feel like everything's still out there to explore, to experience, and to it's limitless.
My buddy Five for Fighting sang a song about that.
But you have the same guarantee today.
That's right.
About waking up tomorrow as you did back then.
Of course.
The only thing that's different is we don't have those societal things of growth. 16, you drive a car. 18, you vote. 21, you drink. 25, whatever. At this age, there's nothing really to look forward to except a decrease or a decline, right?
I don't look at it that way.
But it's just time.
I'm not declining nothing.
If you just reframe time and you work on getting healthy,
time in a bottle,
and reverse cellular oxidation and getting healthier and stop eating ultra processed foods and moving your body, you can get better as you age.
Right now would be a really good time to take a drink of my Diet Coke.
You better get it in before aspartame is illegal. Look, pizza's changing, right? We know what they're doing to the white flour, the enrichment, the folic acid.
What does this have to do with sports?
Well, because sports athletes have to eat this food. I mean, your body is your investment. Right. So to be healthy, to be fit, strong, capable, agile, have longevity, to play professional sports like LeBron James for 30 years.
What is he doing, people?
You have to put quality nutrition in your car. If you have a new car, if you have a sports car, you're not going to put low quality gasoline.
Sure, I would.
Why would you put premium or you're going to put the best nutrients in your body to get the best result?
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't.
That's the problem. We're trying to change that.
Yeah, no, I'm going with the less expensive gas.
But you can eat your favorite foods in moderation. But eggs are critical.
I love eggs.
Like Rocky Balboa, have you ever drank raw eggs?
No.
Have you ever tried
And that's
it?
a true story.
We should try that. We should do that as a challenge on air. Make everybody that comes to the studio has to drink a raw egg.
A, I'm going to pass. And B, I recently saw where Stallone said that a lot of those things, supposedly he did. Now, I know a lot of the other stuff Joe Frazier did. I know that for a fact. And because Burt Watson, who was involved in the UFC forever, he was the guy, for those of you that don't remember, even for those that you do, but I haven't thought about it, Burt was the guy you would always hear screaming in the back, "We're rolling." And he would, bring the guests out or the fighters out or whatever. So he told me, I once walked into, I think it was MGM, and I was wearing a Rocky Balboa shirt, and I went up to the UFC office, and that's where I helped him with signed by card posters and such. And he's like, "Get out of here." I'm like, "Huh?" He goes, "Get that shirt out of here. Get out of here. Take that shirt off." I go, "I don't have another shirt, Bert." He goes, "I'll get you one. Take it off." And I had no idea what the problem was. Bert managed Joe Frazier.
Oh.
So he was familiar with the whole story of Stallone and Rocky and Joe Frazier. And he was supposed to, and according to Bert, Joe Frazier ran the steps. Joe Frazier pounded the meat. Joe Frazier ran down Market because he's from Philly and then wasn't used, I guess, as much as they were promised or whatever. So, yeah, that's the story with Rocky Balboa.
But would you ever drink a raw egg?
And Rocky said, "I still don't know why I put that in the movie."
Really?
Yeah, but he was taking some things from his life, that he was so poor and this, that, the other. They didn't have a refrigerator, and he would just crack the eggs.
But in the
drink
world of monkey see, monkey do, when you see a guy in that kind of elite shape and Balboa and his conditioning, and he's shredded and he's all ripped up, and he's drinking raw eggs, you see that, you're like, "Oh, I'm going to do that too," because it obviously works for him. So how many people you think have tried that in the gym, bro science?
I don't even think in the gym. I think when Rocky first came out, people, I got to be like him. And I bet you they tried it, let me think, once.
You think so?
Yeah. They did it once.
Well, what if you could go to like IHOP and be like, "Can you just bring me a raw egg in a glass?"
I bet you they would.
They would sell you a raw egg drink.
Why would they? It's not selling raw chicken.
I mean, it is actually.
Not quite, but yeah.
It is fried chicken if you really think about it.
Well, no, it never became a chicken.
It's still fried chicken.
Well, but it's not fried.
It is from inception of the embryo.
It's not fried chicken.
Well, if you cook it, it's fried chicken.
Right. Well, no, it's a fried egg.
It's fried chicken. Yeah.
But if you don't become a chicken, how's it a chicken?
But it doesn't matter as a chicken. It is a chicken.
All right, let's go ahead and break. And then our first and only guest coming up. And this should be a
I'm
ship
excited
show.
about this one, baby.
We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Carl Eller from the Minnesota Vikings Hall of Fame. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, this is Chad Johnson, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back well into hour number 3 of Knockout Radio, not our typical show. We didn't talk much about the Hall of Fame induction at T-Mobile. We didn't talk much about UFC 317.
Because we're expanding.
An incredible fight, an incredible card. Fight of the year. I cannot see that fight with Roval and Van being top for fight of the year. Then the 2 title fights, unbelievable. Ilya Topuria, I would assume is going to be, if not at the top, towards the top of Joe Marquis' favorite pound for pound. Undefeated, 2 titles, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we didn't talk much about that, but coming up momentarily, just waiting for Ed to click the button there.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk your world.
Yeah. So that's the thing about the show. It's evolving.
It's not.
And we're getting out of, one small niche of society, of combat sports, of fist fights, and going into like human performance and longevity and health and fitness and capability. It's exciting times, Randy. Del Monte just filed bankruptcy. That's been around since you were a kid, 139 years.
Yeah. Started just after I was born.
Is that right?
So if you're ripping me for being around and being a bugle player in the Civil War, then that means I have longevity.
You do.
Right.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're getting better with age? Do you feel like you're moving better?
No, I don't feel better or worse.
Inflammation.
I feel fantastic.
Let's see.
And I look fantastic. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. Our next guest, how about I wrote this one up all by myself?
All right, let's see what
comes from Chris Kringle International. Rip Santa was once told that he might never walk again and would have limited use of his left arm. And he overcame it. My question is, will he overcome this interview? So let's welcome to the program. And do I call you Rip Santa or do I call you Bill?
Well, Bill isn't quite as flamboyant as the Rip Santa, and I did trademark it, so Ripped or Rip Santa.
I got to be honest. When Matt said, "Yeah, can we get the Rip Santa on?" I'm like, "Oh, here comes another, one of Matt's ordeals." And I Googled, and Rip Santa is all over the internet. So good stuff for sure. Welcome to the program.
God bless you. I was just down in Miami here a little bit ago and was walking down there on South Beach. It's a couple of my Instagrams. I was setting up for something I got coming that I'm not allowed to talk about. But what a city, man. You guys are so friendly down there. And 85 and sunny. I mean, it rained about an inch, and then at 11 o'clock it was sunny and everybody was out. So it's fabulous down there.
Miami is awesome, but if you really want greatness, come to Tampa Bay.
I'll let you guys fight that one out intramurally.
So Rip Santa, I saw you on the Dropping Bombs podcast with Brad Lay. And I learned something from you that I didn't know previously. I did not know that there was a strategy to cooking eggs. So before you came on, we're talking about Rocky Balboa and how in the movie they drank raw eggs. But is it true? Like you said that you'd eat anywhere from 15 to 20 eggs a day. Is that still accurate?
I did when I competed. Now it's about 5 or 10. And the people that I work with, I make it a minimum of 5 out of the sleep cycle, and then 5 before they go to bed. So when they get out of their fast, they have to have 5 eggs and then whatever else they want.
Tell me, what that does, because it's a big fan of eggs, and my neighbor now has chickens, so I can go get all the eggs I want. Why do I want to eat that many eggs?
Boy, here it comes. And I mean, dropping bombs is the name of this tune. 44% of an egg becomes tissue in the body. It's the number one food source. Meats and fishes is 26 to 30, 32. So an egg is big time. Pack of wolves kills an animal. The alpha female always eats first. She eats the brain, heart, liver, and kidneys. She doesn't even eat the muscle. That goes to the old and the soldiers. So it's more mineralization than it is protein. So the protein as a fuel source, if you look up Vince Gironda, the guy that took bodybuilders off of steroids in the 70s and 80s, he advocated 36 eggs a day. If you get to 185 grams or so of protein at a perfect assimilation, it's the same as a DECA or dietable steroids.
So when we're eating it, does it just have to be raw, or can egg salad, fried egg is what ways to? Because I love eggs, so I'm on board already.
Yeah, well, that's a great question, because a lot, they see that Rocky thing and they're like, it's a texture issue and, choking them down. And if you mix up the yolks in it, it actually, you can bury it in coffee and you don't even taste them. I have people that bring in a 4-egg coffee in the morning.
Wow.
So, will it go well with Diet Coke?
No.
Oh, then I'm screwed.
Yeah, well, that, soda pop with the carbon dioxide in it isn't, the CO2 in it isn't good for digestion. But back to the eggs, though, there's also another interesting study with burn victims. The second and third degree burns have a kind of an ashing to them where the skin continues to degrade after they've been brought in. And if they give them 20 eggs, that stops and reverses. So you get 20 eggs in the burn unit.
Wow. So, and what I learned from that podcast, watching it, was you actually separate your egg whites. And I've tried this the last 2 days after I watched that episode. I cook my egg whites first. I let them harden. I reintroduce the yolks to get tacky, like you suggested. And it's phenomenal. I mean, it's creamy, it's fluffy, the flavor's there, and I'm not cooking out the nutrients, right?
Yeah. And the flavor, that's the big thing. The lower the heat, the more flavor you add. But yeah, and people are, they're like, oh, how do you eat that many eggs every day? Well, if I can put on 5 ounces every 6 weeks as a natural bodybuilder, and then introduce 13 to 15 to 18 eggs into my diet every day for 20 days and gain 4 pounds, and then go to 18 and gain 2 more pounds for 6 and 30 days, there's some kind of magical feat in that.
So Rip Santa, otherwise known as Bill Everhart, joining us live on Knockout Radio. You have pizzerias. We have that in common. I came from the pizza world myself, and my contribution to the industry was I wanted to show that pizza could be a healthy food, and if you ate it responsibly. So I actually invented the pizza diet. And while we're talking about eggs, we're based in Tampa Bay, home of Hulk Hogan, Clearwater Beach. And I used to make him an egg white pizza. That was his favorite of all my menu. It was an egg white, spinach, chicken, aroma tomatoes, garlic and olive oil on a whole wheat low carb crust. And so we tried our best down here to be as healthy as possible. But what's the pizza scene like in Minnesota? And are you incorporating any of these new studies about enriched flours and bromation and bleached flours? Are you guys following the wave with healthy pizza?
Yeah. And the Carboni's franchise up here in Tommy Carboni, he's a very, very Christian man, very deeply in his faith, to the point where he closes his shops on Sunday, not the franchisees. They have discretion. But, we have introduced the cauliflower crust. Cauliflower is a wonderful crust. I mean, it's low carb. It's egg white held together. So, and it's actually what my family, I buy them through for my family to use for crusts, for using just putting cheese on it and some protein source and throwing it in there and cooking it down like a quesadilla.
That sounds.
We have used it, yeah. And here's the thing too with pizza: carbs get a bad rap, but that's really the only way you drive the hydration into the muscle. You know, it's one thing to do the protein and the fats and the carnivore diet. That builds muscle wonderfully, and it leans you out, but it also it makes you raisiny. It doesn't fill the tissue, make you full.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, that's how you get water intracellular. You got to transport it through carbohydrates. So to fill out, to have rounded muscle bellies and look great on stage, and that's another component of this is, I don't know about you personally. I don't want to put words in your mouth or put pizza in your mouth for you, but you are and myself are two of the most fit elite athletes in the entire pizza industry. And my question is it like drug dealers? Like, the best drug dealers never get high on their own supply. Like, how much pizza are you actually eating? How much pizza goes into your contest prep, if any?
Oh, another wonderful question, because these are the exact same questions that need to be talked to. And, carbohydrates, I'm sure you know that with the carb deprivation, you can bring in actually 200% more carbs and fill out. I learned accidentally through the guy who owns Young Quest Fitness Center, a 1998 overall champion, Mr. Minnesota, Jason Young. He's in the Rise from the Ashes YouTube video that I did at his place. But I thought I was 5-6 days from a contest, and I came in there and showed him what I thought was my package, and he hung his chin in despair and said, "My God, what have you done? You look horrible." And I thought, man, I'm in the best shape I've ever been. And he's like, "You look like a raisin. You're not full. You're not eating that carb load, are you?" And I was around 35 to 55, and he wanted me at like 120.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I thought if I suffered more, I would lean out and look better. But it was my naivete and what I was being led to believe versus what somebody who's planted the flag believes. And that's where coachability comes in. I thought I knew a 7 out of 10, and I was the man, and I come in there and I have to be redirected and recoached. But the beauty with me is I took notes.
Yeah, so I take notes as well. I mean, Dave Portnoy, the Barstool president's around, rating pizza coast to coast and around the world about, his one style pizza that he defines pizza as. But coming from Santa himself, like the Rip Santa, where's the healthiest pizza in the country? Like, if I was going to go anywhere in the U.S., where can I find, if I put it on my wish list this year, where can I find the healthiest pizza in the U.S.?
More importantly, Matt doesn't travel. I do. So where is the pizzeria that I need to go to?
Well, I don't want to name drop these girls, but these spray tan girls in Jersey that do the contest up here, I went head to head with them because they were talking Jersey is the place. And so I drove 5 of mine up there before I got my spray tan, because I wasn't quite ready for the whole deal of how you get spray tan, because I have genes older than these girls. So that was tough. But I brought them the pizza, and they said we were right there with them. So I think just like us, there's good, there's greater, and there's the greatest. That if you press out, even the greats looks left or right, and there's 5 or 10 people trying to chest a little bit more. The icons are the ones that say, "I'm going to die or I'm going to win," and they just lean forward, because greatness doesn't go on sale. It costs, and it keeps costing. So you put pizza in where it needs to be. It's a great carb. Mike Menser says eat 65, 25, 15, if that adds up right.
Yeah, it's a perfect macronutrient meal, and I've been preaching that for 20 years. So it's great to finally meet you and get you on the air. What are you traveling around the country in your red sleigh doing? Like, what are the projects? How are you helping get the word out? How can people get a hold of you if they need a mentor, if they need instruction, or if they just need a little encouragement?
Oh boy, well, that's my thing. I'm intensity. You hold a magnifying glass on an ant and you can illuminate it or you can torch it. So, we're just a community. If they want to reach out to me, they can get me on Facebook. I put a ton of stuff. I've been watching you on Instagram. I started following you. There's a lot of really, Clark has a 60-day program for Beachbody eating. I don't show off as much of my meals, but we all eat the same. We eat carbs, we eat protein, and we eat fats in the right amount. But if they can get a hold of me, I'm like Batman. They can reach out to me through Instagram. I've been doing this thing called Ripped on the Road, where between training sessions, I hop in the 66 olds, go on Instagram Live, and I answer the questions because I can't get back to everybody that are reaching out, a lot of these wounded vets and stuff, and I want to get back to everybody. So I'm taking questions, and I'm doing this Ripped on the Road, trying to just, help out the little ways. I'm sure I'm going to be trolled over some of my things, but, we all have our jigsaw piece, and we all just want to come along each other and do what we do,
So if you're in the Tampa Bay area, August 1st through 3rd, the Tampa Comic Convention's in town. Lou Ferrigno's here. Sam Jones, the Flash Gordon, and myself will be presenting a presentation on how I became a real-life Ninja Turtle at the convention. So if you're in town, I would love to, do some collaborative work with you, bring some pizzas, fellowship, spread the word to the masses about how to incorporate their favorite food into an active, healthy lifestyle so that they can follow in your footsteps and become a champion in life and beyond.
Well, God bless you. And here's the thing, I do eat pizza. So when you see me, know that you can treat yourself. This life isn't just straight up steak and 2 pieces of asparagus.
So how much pizza do you eat, Bill?
I had pizza last night.
Yeah, like on a normal week. I mean, because obviously you're in the pizza industry and it's accessible. That's what everybody told me. Like, oh, well, you own a pizzeria, so it's easy for you. But how much pizza do you eat? Is it only your style, or do you eat it on the road as you go around different cities?
Boy, to tell you the truth is, I don't let my employees eat mistakes because there would be so many. But when there is one, we all eat it, and I'll come over and I'll eat it as a treat. I won't eat a full pizza. I'll have a cauliflower pizza. I won't have a regular crust. But I do incorporate. I'll have it, once every maybe 10 or 12 days, or if there's a good mistake that's around, nothing goes to waste. Something died to make that food, we eat it, and it's perfect inside of your carbohydrate, your protein, and your fat allowances.
What topping does not belong on a pizza?
Well, geez, I would say sardines or not, anchovies. Anchovies are too salty. They're saltier than salt. I love the hell out of sardines, but anchovies, that's a bridge too far.
So Rip Santa, we're still talking Knockout Radio. For those of you who don't know, Bill Everhart, he owns pizzerias and he's in the industry, but he's also known as the Rip Santa. He's a bodybuilding champion. And so I promised Randy before the show that you taught me how to cook my eggs on a recent podcast of Dropping Bombs. And I promised Randy that I would teach you something. So what I'm working on in my home kitchen now, Bill, is how to use baking soda, which has a pH of 9, which is alkaline, to reduce the acidity of the tomato sauce to make pizza even more of a superfood. So, and I do put,
what a wonderful idea, because baking soda to keep the alkalinity out of the blood, also for cancer.
Absolutely. So then you have a super sauce, and then I do add anchovy just because it's the least amount of mercury of any marine life, and you get the omega-3s out of the fish oil. So I'll put that on like a bed of spinach, some extra virgin olive oil, some Celtic sea salt or Baja Gold, and literally make the Hulk Hogan protein pizza come to life. So when you come to Tampa, open invite to break bread with Chris Kringle himself, the Rip Santa.
I am going to retract anchovies as a bad topping and will now eat them based on what you told me, because that's the discipline that I require of myself. What a wonderful food. I didn't even know that.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. I can't wait to break bread with you.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Matt said something that somebody agreed with and said was intelligent.
It's time.
It's about sharing knowledge and building a collective, and the work that you're doing out there, the way you put out your zero content to help people, the zero cost to consumer, your charitable acts of going on podcasts and telling your story. It's inspiring. It's uplifting. You're making an impact, even if people don't reach out to you and tell you what impact it's making. From me to you, I saw it and it instantly resonated with me. And I'm honored to have you on the show. And I want to make this relationship as long as we can, my brother.
Oh, those are so very kind of words. I appreciate it so much. And boy, thank you for this opportunity with all of your fans. And it was a really interesting show, man. From presidents on Mount Rushmore to MMA to getting Diaz and then to the Rip Santa. It's good culmination.
Well, I do have one question. Like, so in the song,
who would be on your Mount Rushmore? That's his question.
Yeah. So, all right, Mount Rushmore. So you were a hockey player.
Yeah.
So Randy said the worst losing franchise of all time is the Maple Leafs.
I didn't say the worst. I just said they're a losing organization. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers still probably hold that record of the longest losing streaks.
But what's your favorite sport? Is it hockey or whatever sport? Give us your Mount Rushmore of your favorite sport. 4 teams.
Well, first of all, being a hockey goalie, I would have to say hockey. I mean, the game comes to me. Right between them pipes, everybody counts on me. It's cost me tens of thousands of dollars in injuries, but Leonidas stands at the gate. So hockey first. I'd have to say softball second, only because it's such a defensive game.
Wow.
Then I'd say basketball, because it's so ferociously brutal as far as your athleticism. Yeah, that's the one sport that I never played, and I played 6.
So
I'm going to pull a Matt, since Matt loves talking about himself and it drives me crazy. Since you mentioned softball, I was in the Guinness Book of World Records for softball.
Well, do tell.
The longest slow pitch game ever, and it will never be broken because they've changed the criteria.
Well, to be first in anything is awesome.
Well, your comeback was supposed to say how long was the game, and it was 104 hours.
What, people dying?
By Friday night, Saturday morning, we started Tuesday morning. We played till Saturday night. So yeah, by Friday night, Saturday morning, it started to get pretty painful. But 104 hours. Nonstop, no substitutes. We got 5 minutes off an hour that we could accumulate. So we played 48 straight hours before we took our first break.
Man, that's a push for an IV bottle and another one in the ambulance. I mean, holy cow.
I sure could have used some of your egg recipes back then. Yeah, that's for sure. It certainly would have helped us get through.
Yeah, well, that lady wolf will pass that carcass to go eat a nest of eggs.
So, Rib Santa, before I let you go, I just got to ask, what was up with mommy kissing Santa Claus? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you're a grandfather yourself. Are you? Do you have children? Do you have grandchildren?
Yeah, I have 3 stepkids that I got at 4, 6, and 10, so they're mine. And then I have 7 grandchildren, and I think that's the cap. Everybody's pretty satiated in the grandchildren department.
Well, I know we have your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong for coming on, as well as I have a couple gifts for your children and grandchildren, and we'll get those shipped out to you in the next couple days for coming on and talking to us.
You're so kind.
We appreciate your time, and let's get you on again. Let's do this again and have some more fun.
Well, I'd love it, guys, and I look forward to following you and watching your Instagram page and catching these episodes.
Awesome.
It's not every day you get to give Santa Claus a gift himself. So
and when they boo, they're not booing Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, Santa. Like what's going on? Like the Philly fans booed Santa Claus. Are they the worst fan base in all of sports?
Well, I'll tell you this one. Santa would wade into them if they wanted a little bit. And maybe, I don't know how many it would take, but I'll tell you, there'd be some people in there when it would slide up alongside me, and we'd clear ourselves a trough through those people.
Being a goalie, I expect nothing less.
Come get some.
I love it.
Come get some claws. That's what would be the answer to Philly fans.
Some claws.
Santa calling out the Philly fans.
Yeah.
This is going to get ugly.
I love it.
All right, Rip Santa, we appreciate your time. We will talk to you again real soon. Thank you, sir.
God bless you guys.
All right, take care. That was a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot with Rip Santa down the road. Right now, let's go hit our last break of the afternoon. Rip Santa was in the house.
This is Matt Liner, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
I'm very excited to announce that Knockout Radio finally has our very own Challenge Coin, thanks to Challenge Coin Country. Challenge Coin Country is a family-run business with over 17 years experience making custom challenge coins, lapel pins, bottle openers, keychains, and many other custom products. They even produced 2 different variations for us, one for military recipients and a slightly different coin for civilians. I strongly suggest you check them out at challengecoincountry.com with free express shipping, and they proudly offer discounts for first responders and military as well. That's Challenge Coin Country at challengecoincountry.com.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, this is Bert Sugar, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back, and what a perfect group. Bert Sugar, dead against MMA back in the day. Met him on the street in Detroit, and I don't remember if it was the Super Bowl or the All-Star game, and kind of converted him a little. And kind of watched MMA a little bit. Then he became my boxing expert.
Okay.
And Rip Santa said anchovies. I'm a big anchovy fan. I like it. Love it in salad. Love it on the pizza.
Yeah.
Dead against it. You kind of convinced him to give it a shot.
Yeah, because the omega-3s and less amount of mercury. But like when he said like, you know, come and get these claws, right? Like he was a hockey goalie. And I was like, well, that's a terrifying profession. Of all the sports, highlight is probably what the fastest sport, but a hockey puck moving at 105 miles an hour, it's got to be the most terrifying job on the planet.
You do know back in the day, nobody wore masks. Hockey goalies did not have masks. So when you said that, I said, I can't wait for you to say this. You know, it's bad enough now, but you're fully protected. Goalies today would be like Barry Bonds at home plate batting. with all the armor and all the gear and all the. But back in the day, Tony Esposito and such, no mask.
Speaking of baseball, happy Bobby Bonilla Day belated.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I saw this, so I can't take credit for it. Somebody said, that there's plenty of baseball players and probably plenty of athletes that are on the same deal. Whether it was before or after, it's just not publicized.
Sure, of course.
There's guys that are getting paid X amount of millions to just leave.
Yeah. Well, whoever the most expensive athlete of all time is Ronaldo. He just signed like a $2-point-something billion
unreal.
2-year contract. $2.2 billion for 2 years.
I think Rip Santa did it on purpose when I said, tell me other ways to eat eggs, because I love eggs.
Yeah.
So I think he did it on purpose so that we can get them back on. That would be the start of the conversation. I love eggs.
Yeah.
I love them hard boiled. I love them over easy. And I told Greg Hendrick, we went out to eat. We went to that fine establishment called Denny's. And he went to order over easy eggs. And I'm like, don't get them over easy. I learned a very valuable lesson.
Okay.
Don't get your eggs over easy.
All right.
Because more times than not, or at least every time I would order it, they're going to be over hard. And the whole object of the over easy egg really is like sunny side up, where you get the yolk. Right?
To open up.
And the best part of a pancake, a hamburger, whatever, is if you get the egg,
yeah.
right? It's the yolk. I don't want my yolk hard. Always sunny side up from now on.
Well, my tragic event at Easter at Denny's in Indiana. I ordered eggs on Easter Sunday, and the waitress asked how I like them. I said, hide them. I would find them, and by the time the eggs arrived, I had passed out from being too intoxicated.
You're an idiot.
I got kicked out. Did you know you can't pass out in a public restaurant?
You are just an idiot.
Just saying. It was 3 a.m. I learned my lesson.
But you're right. It was Bobby Bonilla Day yesterday.
Yeah.
UFC 317 over 318 around the corner. That'll be in New Orleans. And let's find out. The next UFC will be Nashville in 2 weeks. Will Chris Curtis be on the card?
Well, every time I think of like New Orleans and Louisiana, I think of Daniel Cormier, who just lost his truck recently.
Somebody stole his truck
from the airport.
I believe Sacramento.
But, every time I flash back to that interview where he's talking to Conor McGregor, and he's like, you've called Dustin Poirier a hillbilly. He's like, I'm from the same town. Are you going to call me a hillbilly? He's like, but be careful. Remember, Conor, I'm bigger than you. I'm the light heavyweight, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you're a black hillbilly. Oh, man.
I had a little ordeal with Daniel Cormier on Friday.
You did?
I did.
What happened?
So I've told him before, I've invited him to come to Tampa Bay. Great golf courses. I can get him on Black Diamond, which is up the road. I told him about Steve Monroe. Steve Monroe's nickname is Tiger. That's all I need to say. And I've told him about it. I said, you ought to come to town, go out and play with Steve Monroe. I guarantee you it'll be the best time you've ever had. So he walked by me at the Fan Expo, and I said, hey, I still want to get you, on a golf course in Tampa. And he goes, I'd kick your ass. Now, he was talking about playing golf. He would kick my ass literally as well. Yeah. But he was saying that he would kick my ass on the golf course.
Okay.
And I'm like, you're not playing me, fool. I didn't say that. I certainly thought it. I didn't say that to him. I guarantee you he ain't beating Steve Monroe.
Well, he can't even get here now. He doesn't have a ride.
Well, he doesn't own a plane, so he can get on a plane.
We'll have to get him a Uber.
I ain't getting him nothing.
Uber Daniel Cormier over here, DC.
Get him over here and play Steve Monroe, and I'm going to strongly recommend don't play him for cash.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be your smartest
What's going on in the golf world? Is the Shambo still dominating?
Shambo?
Bryson, is that his name?
Yeah, Shambo. He hasn't been. No, he's not. No, it's Scheffler.
Well, okay.
One of those S's.
I mean, like usually it's this time of year where you really kind of pay attention to golf. It's like Father's Day. It's like when the big tournaments, all right? Like that's when like the Augusta, is it all during the summertime?
I don't know. It's golf every weekend.
Yeah.
It certainly feels like it.
Well, there's everything every weekend. Every sport.
How about LeBron maybe leaving? LeBron might be bolting, not L.A., but the Lakers.
What, is he going to the Clippers?
Possible. Really? And you know what other rumor?
Why would he go there?
You know what? The biggest sports rumor that I've heard, and I got to be careful because I don't want Ed to, freak out. Tampa Bay Lightning, there is a rumor of a superstar possibly headed to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
And that is?
That would be none other
the Rib Santa
than McJesus.
McDavid. McDavid to the Lightning.
To the Lightning.
And
there's numerous reasons why it makes sense. First and foremost, the Lightning play the Panthers a lot. You know, there's that rivalry now because they've now lost to them the last 2 years in the finals. Obviously, taxes. Everybody wants to come to Florida anyway.
Right.
But that's what I heard.
Wow.
That's one of his predominant teams, the organization over there in Tampa. So he has his eyes on it.
That's a big name.
You know, you go from, like Cavier to Stamkos to now this superstar. Now, again, he's got to play more than 3 years. Brady was 3 years. He doesn't count as a Buccaneer. So we need him at least more than 3 if he's going to go down, as a Lightning.
Interesting.
Just a little piece of info.
Yeah. And what about the Rays update? Any movement with the Rays organization?
None.
Really? Just
there
I
was
know they put a fence around Tropicana Field. I assume they're going to start repairs to the
Trop. Because they were selling it. They don't own it.
Right.
The Rays were allegedly selling pieces of the roof that flew off during the hurricane. They don't own it.
Right.
The city does.
Well, once it becomes off of city property, isn't free for all. If the roof blew off into the road.
Yeah, once it comes off, but it didn't leave the property because the organization, this is alleged, this is the story that I heard, that they would take it, what they should have done is taken it to Topps or Fleer or Panini or let them make cards with it. That would have been cool.
A piece of it. Yeah, history. Yeah. Do you have any seats from like old stadiums? Like they give away the bricks or.
I do.
Do you have a brick or do you have a seat? Or
Both.
Where was the brick from? Wrigley?
Chicago.
Wrigley.
Well, I don't know if it was Wrigley or I think it's Comiskey. I have a seat from 2 seats from Daytona when they redid. Didn't Burt Scott or Scott Burt, the guy from the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame, didn't somehow he come across like some original Harley Davidson bricks, like from the original factory that he was like showing off at some of those events? I don't know.
Like raising fundraisers.
I don't pay attention to people I pay attention to.
Really?
Yeah. So I certainly don't pay attention to people I don't pay attention to.
I think he had like somehow like the factory where Harley Davidson started, it was in the same town where the Boxing Hall of Fame is or something. There's some connection.
Do you think it's a good or a bad idea to expand the Knockout Radio YouTube channel?
Oh, we got to expand
and put
it.
Other shows on it.
Oh, make this like a network?
Yeah.
As long as it's in alignment. It's got to be alignment. It got to have value. Like talking to Rip Santa about nutrition and bodybuilding.
Well, somebody approached me about doing a podcast.
Okay.
If it's done wrong, it could be very successful.
Okay.
If it's done right, it may not be very successful.
Okay.
And I'm being honest. I'm not giving too much out, but it would be a medical show.
Okay.
Which you could tie in.
Yeah, for sure.
A medical show. It would be run by doctors and nurses.
Okay. I mean, as long as they're okay with being offended. I mean, because me, I'm a biohacker. I'm going to crack some eggs. And you think Rip Santa's got all the claws?
Hold on a second. First of all, you won't have anything to do with it.
Of course I am.
You would be on that podcast.
It doesn't matter.
You would possibly get involved on Knockout Radio talking about such show. But everything is separate, but I've been approached by them.
So I've got some, actually what I talked to you about earlier, and I'm not going to do it now, but I'll just say this.
You're leaving?
No, for a long time, people have thought that I've like gone off the path, that I've become this delusional guy, and I gave up a successful business and restaurant and
they'd be right.
And financial stability and the life that my kids were accustomed to go down this path of biohacking and longevity and neurosciences. Let me just say this, Randy. I have
the
proof.
answer.
I have the proof.
You have the golden grail.
I have proof that not only am I not delusional, I have the path, I have the protocols that eventually everyone will follow this protocol. I have unequivocal proof in my
Jesus
phone.
is coming to Tampa because he's in studio right now.
It's not Jesus. I'm just saying it looks off center because the masses and the medical community and the people in the Rockefeller system and all the companies like Del Monte that have been poisoning people for centuries, allegedly. People are waking up.
That comment was made by Matt McClellan.
People waking up.
Had nothing to do.
And to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs, and I'm ready to start cracking. So I'll show you this stuff I have on my phone, and then you can release it next week to the audience. But yeah, as long as the medical team are open-minded, open for evolution, open for change, because guess what? You don't need antidepressants to get neurohormonal function or regulation back. You can do it with myokine release. And just exercise and duration timing, that just leads to more visceral fat and more risk for cardiovascular risk. So as long as they're open to evolution and the future, let's get them online.
What's the updated on Sean Diddy?
Not guilty.
Go to YouTube.
He's gonna go free.
To news. No, he was found guilty of a couple.
Yeah, but not the big ones. Not racketeering and the RICO charges. So he'll get a slap on the wrist. He'll probably time served, and he'll be back.
Did he serve time? Oh yeah,
Diddy parties. I got invited to a Diddy party.
Then you can release those videos.
I got invited to a
This
Diddy
has
party.
been Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on the YouTube channel. If you have not signed up yet, please do so. We went over 70,360,000 videos, views. I'm sorry, views of the video. So until next week, peace out.
Wait till I release this protocol.
Hey, this is Mike Ditkin. You're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas,